Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now. The time is Le Judgment Day. FSL Elite Grand Finals for League of Legends. My name is Riku. Together with me is Spoods. And it's going to be very exciting.
It is going to be very exciting. I think top 10 Dinos, they've shown us that they can definitely contest Box. Unfortunately, they are 0-2 on the record with them. But I think with a little bit more of a push, they can definitely edge out ahead.
Exactly. They really exceeded a lot of expectations in their BO3 series against Lannister from Thailand. And the amazing part about it is that Box Gaming, when we interviewed them earlier, they were looking forward to, or they were expecting that the Thai team would have been in the grand finale.
Well, unfortunately for them, on your screen right now is, their journey for top 10 Dinos into the grand finals here.
Yep, it's going to be another best of 3 series, and it's super exciting because we saw how top 10 Dinos has managed to adjust in every single team that they managed to face against, and it makes me wonder if they can use this magic of theirs against Box Gaming, because you're right, they ended up 0-2 in their records in this tournament.
I mean, you can use them as learning experiences, definitely come in with an adjusted draft and adjusted playstyle to go up against, the juggernaut that is Box Gaming. I think even if you drop the first game, they've definitely shown that they do have the mental fortitude to come back in the next 2.
Exactly, and not to mention, aside from the comeback, the Box ladies have this comfy spot in the draft. I mean, we interviewed HHQ earlier, and she mentioned how, I just want to have some fun and maybe entertain the viewers out there. That's why I locked in the Tristana.
All right, we also have to cast our minds back to, the Irelia play where she just jumped in. That was definitely fun. On your screen right now is the matchup head-to-head for both these teams as we prepare to load in Champion Select soon.
Yeah, top 10 Dinos, most likely. We'll see what kind of adjustments or surprises. I'm sure most of the teams that we spoke to have already prepared for the finals, and I'm sure their primary target is Box Gaming.
Yeah, no reason for it not to be, but keep in mind, Box Gaming, they've been sitting on the sidelines all this time and watching their competition play out. They could definitely have come up with a strategy while they were waiting to counter what top 10 Dinos, what they bring to the table.
Absolutely. If we look back at the qualifiers beforehand, where top 10 Dinos instantly, when you're against them, you do want to ban the Yorick. We'll see if that's still the case. Liab didn't fear the Yorick. Maybe Box Gaming might not fear it as well.
Alright, as it stands, we see the Nautilus banned out once again. Question is whether or not they go for the Thresh. We do see the Ahri taken off the board as well. A very, high mobility playmaker that was able to find picks that contributed to top 10 Dino success in the previous game.
Agreed. And I suppose it's going to be the same story for top 10 Dinos, focusing the top lane matchup for Gwyneth.
Yeah, nothing too surprising here. They take off the Syndra. Box Gaming, they've banned Syndra literally every game that they've played, but it's a little questionable because we haven't actually seen Amelia play that champion at all. I think it was definitely an option. It's definitely in a wheelhouse, but she has not taken it up. So the question is, whether or not this is going to come back and bite them in the butt.
We'll have to see, as they really love that Poppy pick in either top side. Actually, top side. Who was that team again that played Poppy jungle?
Top 10 Dinos.
Yeah,
Bobby likes to play Poppy.
Alright, there you go. S Bobby. Meanwhile, Box Gaming will deny, and they'll get one of the awesome picks for team fights later on, as Box Gaming do really want to play those 5v5s.
Yeah, right now, Jarvan 4 locked in for Sbobby here. A bit of an adaptation, like we said in the last game. Moving back to standard, tempering the aggression a little bit. Poppy right now is going to be able to stop Jarvan from dashing around, so that is a bit of a counter that we do see.
That's true, and top 10 Dinos for the 3rd time around will be selecting this Jinx. It has worked wonders for them in their BO3 series against Lannister. So it's no surprise why they'd want to lock this in, but Box Gaming can really adjust to this draft and probably just, try to form a kill the Jinx composition.
Definitely, and with this Nami Kai'Sa that we've seen from Bong and KZ all this time, Nami here with very accurate bubbles. Definitely, you can form a kill the Jinx composition, like you said. Yorick here actually being picked up for Urif too, so that is something that Ren is definitely going to have to try to counter.
Yep, sorry. How is this matchup? Yorick and Poppy. I suppose, well, Yorick will just do his job as the split pusher anyways.
We saw Yorick versus Poppy in the previous game.
Oh
Literally
yes,
a previous
that's
game
correct.
before, so Poppy will have a bit of an early game advantage, but once Yorick hits level 4, he really just takes over the lane. And later on, if you send Poppy to defend, she's gonna be able to do so, but it's just gonna be quite a wet noodle fight.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. But now we are looking at the bans with Sejuani and Zoe. Target ban for Amelia here in the mid lane. Again, Amelia has a wide range of champions to use, but then my question is, how many of those is she comfy to use?
Well, if you take a look right now, Zoe got banned in second round rotation, which means they aren't actually prioritizing the mid lane all that much. That being said, the Orianna is still up and they do ban the Thresh, so Vayne's gonna pick up something else.
Makes me wonder what Vayne. I suppose they could go for another enchanter, perhaps Morgana.
I think she played Morgana
Yep.
yesterday, so that's definitely an option. But you do expect Amelia to go for Orianna. She had a really good game on that earlier.
Absolutely. Yes, the game just get momentum. I suppose if we look at it that way, top 10 Dinos is currently riding that high. Oh way, Pyke getting locked in, which is quite similar to Nautilus and the Thresh. So it still works.
Yeah, you definitely do have the ability to hook people in, and you have the mobility to get around the map as well as the gold generation to benefit your AD carry. Right here, I think what we're seeing is Vayne finally saying, hey, I can be the carry for this lane, picking up the Pyke and throwing the gauntlet down.
That's true. It is quite similar in terms of their kits, and look at that, Orianna getting denied by Box Gaming here as they're gonna give that to HHQ in the mid lane, and Gragas jungle is getting locked in this time around.
Yeah, what this means to me is that they really want Amelia to come in with a counter pick. That's why they're saving the last one for her. If not, they would have saved Pyke for last, of course. But with the mid lane pool pinched this much, I'm curious to see what she actually brings out.
What will assist? I don't know, maybe Karma. A Lux, it works.
Okay.
Still works. You can supply all that awesome utility for the Jinx later on. Really amazing burst damage. Really nice poke to ground the Orianna. Not to try some funny stuff with Ali in the jungle. So I think it works. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, with Lux, you do have the range that you can contest Orianna with, but the fact of the matter remains that Orianna, they will still have early push advantage. He's going to gain priority in this lane for most of the laning phase, which just allows Gragas to, roam around the map in a much greater capacity.
That's true. Although, though, I do like the jungle and mid lane synergy in terms of skill kits. I just made a shortcut. The skill kits, a lot of hard CC, just gonna lock you down instantly. But I suppose once level 6 comes for Gragas and Orianna, then that's the time it's... both of them have really high burst as well, actually.
Yeah, Gragas, Orianna, 100%, they do have, greater synergy than Jarvan and Lux. That being said, I think Orianna, Gragas, they do need a little bit more to get going, and if Jarvan is able to, shadow Lux and come in for an early gank, finding an advantage there, it's going to be pretty difficult for Gragas to come back in for another gank.
We're going to see some awesome explosive casks again under the tower, and I think that was with Ali, I believe, yesterday, and I'm looking forward to that. As well as for the delivery system, there are a lot of options for where the shockwave may come from. Poppy, Gragas, even Kai'Sa when she dives in. So again, really scary when they're complete fives. This is what Vietnam wants.
Yeah, keep in mind though, this fight, right? Any fight that sort of will break out is gonna definitely be a 4v4 because Yorick is always gonna be playing PvE at the side of a map. So who do you send to deal with Yorick? We've seen Poppy attempt to do so, but obviously they lost that game.
Yeah, it doesn't work unless Box Gaming really does their usual play style of getting an amazing foundation for the early game, and they transition super well and just snowball, and top 10 Dinos may not be able to, fight back.
I like how you bring up that point because across the board, Box Gaming, they really have strong laners and they do have, the micro ability to snowball an early lead. I think what Daryl and I were talking about earlier is that we wanted to focus on the bot lane because of this Kaisa-Nami duo. Nami, obviously, like I said, very accurate with those bubbles, and Kaisa has always been a follow-up.
That's absolutely true, and of course, Jinx early on will not be able to match Kaisa, especially when you're up against Nami with the heals, so they might lack in the trades. But in terms of damage, they do have a lot of output, especially when Pyke and Jinx reaches level 6.
Yeah, Pyke and Jinx into Kaisa-Nami really depends on how each player plays out this lane. I think when you have this engaged support versus an enchanted support, Pyke versus Nami, I think if Pyke is able to land some crucial hooks, that can really spell doom for this Kaisa-Nami bot lane.
Exactly, and I'm really, really scared for, of course, top 10 DINO because, again, Box Gaming is undefeated, even in their own region, even until now in our FSL Elite finale, and they're riding the hype. But this time around, we will not see an AD or Tristana mid laner for HHQ. So, the finals is the finals.
Yeah, Orianna can still definitely be very fun, but that's only if you get a hit. Other than that, we're actually going to cut to a video right now for both our teams.
And we are officially in the Summoner's Rift. This is the grand finale of the Female Esports League Elite. Box Gaming from Vietnam versus top 10 DINOs from MSP. Oh wait, no, MS, MY, SG, and ID.
That is a mouthful, but like you said, very excited for this game. Going to be very explosive. I hope both these teams are on their A game because that's what we like to see.
It's going to be tricky, as I believe there will not be any face checks that will happen. And I'm looking forward to the explosive level 3s, most specifically when, T10, top 10 DINOs, and as well as Box Gaming have completed all of their combos. I'm looking at the junglers most especially.
Yeah, you definitely want to see both junglers, play a crucial role in getting their teams ahead. That being said, this is day 2. This is playoffs. We've been playing much slower than we did yesterday. And top 10 DINOs, they're our slowest team here at FSL Elite. So if you want to see action at level 3, it's up to Box Gaming to make that happen.
For sure. Like most of the tower dives you will see, they are capable of doing so with Ali and everyone. They do have a lot of sustain and shields in the 5v5. So I suppose if I look at the other side of the spectrum, they have at least Amelia to supply the shields. And that had more damage sources with Vayne here on the Pyke.
Vayne on the Pyke, the very, very important point to bring out actually that Pyke will deal significantly more damage than Thresh, especially in the early levels. That is a threat that you have to look out for.
That's absolutely true. We've seen how Pyke players, when given the opportunity, can not only feed himself, but also whoever is laning with him. So it's kind of scary. So you at least push the Jinx in a faster, in a faster state where she can join the fights.
Gank though.
Oh wait, there's gonna be a gank. That's right. There's gonna be a flash being burned. That's a flash as well being exchanged for the retreat, and Vayne still holding on to her life, but looks like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, just jumping in a little too over eager to get something started. You want the level 3 action? Nah, they say they're going in level 1.
Level 1, pretty tough, pretty brave as we see the... okay, we are sorting out the headset
headset
issue with the players.
Shouldn't take too long, so hopefully we get back into game fairly shortly, but that is a flash now burnt on the pike. Gonna be very difficult for him to, look for a long-range engage. You're not gonna have that flash for the next 5 minutes. And if you look on the minimap, they can't see this, but we can. The Gragas is actually hovering bot, so that is another exploitable advantage that Gragas could go for.
Exactly, and just reading the mindset of what Bobby was supposed to do, like, okay, that was a failed gank, so I will probably, maybe she's going to go for the giant frog in the jungle. But at this point, I did mention I was expecting a level 3 gank, but it was a level 2, but Gragas is level 3 at this point.
Ooh, yeah, definitely very far ahead right now, very low as well, which means the giant frog in the jungle is gonna go the way of Gragas. That's a happy Merry Christmas present to him.
Oh, Ali really loves that Santa Gragas skin.
It's a good skin.
It is. I mean, there are the biker. Oh wait, there's the body slam and the ignite, and one auto attack will finish the job, and HHQ will get first blood.
Alright, Prophet Rico with the level 3 engage fight. Luck stepping up a little too far. I think you don't want to be that aggressive against the Orianna, who definitely can push you out, but does trade her life for it, does trade both the flash and the teleport to get back to lane.
Yeah, a lot of value from that gank, and HHQ even holding on to that flash will be utilized later on for a retreat in case Bobby decides to gank the mid lane as an exchange.
Yes, Bobby has been some questionable mid games.
Oh. Okay, gonna meet in the riverside, and it's KZ landing a nicely done bubble, but the root from Amelia might finish the job. No flash for one last auto attack as it has been used, but you're right. The Q will be used to finish the job.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what KZ was trying to do. Perhaps going for a roam, perhaps just setting up a bit of vision. But when you don't have any wards and Jarvan is in the wings, that's just gonna be a very, very dead fish.
That is absolutely true. The dead fish, most likely you're right, probably trying to roam, probably trying to lay down some wards for more vision to see where Bobby is going to be. But unfortunately, had to suffer the consequences. Fong is even. Wow!
A bit of VM coming in from the side of Box Gaming. Not exactly sure what that was.
They're enjoying for sure, but yeah, KDA skin here on the Kaisa. Prestige even.
Happy game.
It is a happy game.
But one thing I want to draw attention to is that after a few games of seeing the first Dragon Beam, Ocean and Cloud, we finally have an Infernal Dragon on board. Both of these teams, they want to prioritize this, and Top 10 Dinos, they're the one with the push right now.
For sure, they do have the priority at this point, as we see Bobby already on his way into that area. They even got the Scuttler, so they have secured the vision. So a lot of priority in the bottom side of the map, which is totally understandable, as they will most likely just allow Gwyneth to just soak up at the top side.
Yeah, take a look at the minimap. Thank you, observers, for actually showing us the vision discrepancy there. You bring the you bring the Gragas towards the top side, and what this does is it allows Spubby the ability to just sneak out this dragon without any vision spotting it out.
Agreed, and Top 10 Dino is definitely taking advantage of that situation, of that information. We might see a gank here, though, as that's a 2v1 jumping on towards Gwyneth. No escape, and Ren is still pretty much healthy, and one more auto attack will do and finish up Gwyneth.
Yep, Gwyneth there falling in exchange for the Infernal Drake. I think I would be happy to take that trade.
That's absolutely true. I mean, Infernal is a huge boost for Top 10 Dinos. But then again, Box Gaming will take what they can, and I feel like a consolation prize on a kill on Gwyneth is pretty okay. Yeah,
I guess you 100% want to set this Yorick back. You've seen the kind of monster that Gwyneth can become on this Yorick, and the longer it takes for this Yorick to get online, the better for Box.
Yep, never forget that match between Liab and Top 10 Dinos. And of course, Box Gaming will definitely not want to experience that. And we see Ali here in the Raptor camp, might be level 6 soon, actually.
Yep, Amelia actually picking up a few of those Raptors, but you can take a look, both these mid laners are running low on mana, so you would expect both of them to actually go back for a buy now. Sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Absolutely true. I mean, it's okay. It's understandable, as there's not a lot of pressure on the map with Infernal Drake being taken. Rift Herald is still not yet in his... is Rift Herald a girl or a boy?
Shelly's a girl.
Shelly, right. Shelly's a girl. Alright. She's not yet in the pit. So now, it's Bobby with a sneaky take.
Yep, oh.
That was cute.
Debated.
Thanks for the leash, Ali says. And that might do the trick for level 6 already.
Yes, Bobby does manage to get out past her interesting early game. I think she has shown some interesting pathing, but now that she is out of that strange state in the game, she is set to pop off.
For sure, and that's the scary part. And HHQ with the priority in lane makes Amelia and S Bobby having a difficult time maneuvering around the map. They don't have a lot of information, as we see Box Gaming just dominating the vision game at this point.
Yeah, 100%. This comes off the back of, again, HHQ pushing against Amelia. I think this priority that the mid has had the entire game has facilitated, you know, the vision push into the enemy jungle.
That's true, but at least getting that blue buff. I actually didn't see if HHQ got hers at this point, but it will really definitely help in spamming more skills.
Yeah, no blue buff on the Orianna right now, just one for Amelia on the Lux.
Right. Again, very aggressive vision by Box Gaming, more information for them to move around, and meanwhile, a lot of defensive wards for top 10 dinos. Oh. Okay, the hook, the bubble. Not going to connect. I wonder if they're going to pursue this one. Looks like that's a no. They'll continue farming. Just a couple of warning shots.
Yeah, the hook lands, but the stun doesn't. Oh, that's a bit of damage coming in from Amelia onto HHC. Does have the blue buff, so does have cooldown reduction and the mana regen. So shouldn't be too much of an issue expending that ultimate for now.
Okay, this is a nice sneaky Santa Gragas. It's going to be lurking around. There's no wards. They will detect that there is no vision whatsoever. I wonder if top 10 dinos feels the sneaky attack. They do have the cast. KZ still not level 6 just yet.
Look at the minions though, they're actually pushing in favor of top 10 dinos, and if Vortex doesn't continue to use rockets to push this wave up, Santa Gragas is just gonna sit in that bush and feel a little sorry for himself.
They probably have read the unusual and suddenly quiet actions, but there is a ward. They're sitting on a ward, and the minions will go to the brush, and they will realize, okay, I am seen.
Yep, and now take a look. The mid lane has been pushed up by the Lux, which and Gragas has shown bot, so Bubby understands where this Gragas is, goes in for a bit of an invade, puts down a ward actually.
Ooh. Okay, Okay, that's a ward, because
that is a ward.
That is a ward, because I was just wondering if the ward was next to the stopwatch, because he has stopwatch.
Ah.
Maybe she was scared that she would have died, but
maybe a misplay, you know. Never know really.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I mean, lane wards.
Oh,
okay.
Whoa, those rockets from Vortex, even during the series against Lannister, it keeps hitting, and pretty sure she's satisfied. She may not get kills in the bottom side of the map, but she can definitely get in the riverside.
You know, I recall saying that you really can't count on these rockets to get you a hit, but I guess if you're Vortex, you really can't just do that.
Always at the right place at the right time. The super mega death rockets from Vortex here on the Jinx. No wonder they do really love the Jinx. I mean, she's named Jinx, but they're pretty lucky with her shots.
This is a point I wanted to bring up, right? Earlier, you saw Gragas at bot and the mid lane pushed up, which allowed Jarvan to push up the vision line and sneak away this Rift Herald. And they do manage to pick up 2 or 3 plates in the mid lane tower. Is very juicy.
Money, money, money. Amelia will be very satisfied with that. Very maximized. Let's see. Let's pursue this one. Not one more auto, but out of reach.
Yep, no Super Mega Death Rocket to follow up just yet. Ali is gonna walk out alive, but Eurus and Ren. This wet noodle fight is going pretty well. As you can see, neither of them have mana left.
Yep, Suri, and the junglers are busy in the bottom side of the map, as you see Vayne finishing off the kill. And now they're pursuing the Air Drake, and HHQ might be in an awful position, but Bong and KZ are in the bottom side of the map with Vortex being the focus target. She goes down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, HHQ is quite low. There's a stopwatch being used, but the E of Amelia is waiting. Cataclysm trapping the 3 members, rather, and Bong is going to kill her instinct. One more auto, guess that's not going to be enough for the stack. And let's take a look at the deaths, 2 for 1 in favor of Box Gaming.
Yes, Bobby there, not really getting the message. Lux has no mana, she cannot reinforce, but perhaps just jumping in to get enough damage down, but whew, that's a lot of damage on that tower from Urifer already.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could have gone way better for top Dinos if the rest of their members weren't as separated. I think a couple of members were in the middle or right next to the bot lane of Box Gaming. That's why it seemed like an awkward position. It seemed like they were going to win, but then again, Amelia with a lot of tower platings being acquired is still a pretty huge win.
If I'm not wrong, Amelia also got extra gold from the Pike ultimate, and they did pick up Cloud Drake as well, so definitely very worth 2 kills for 1.
Absolutely, and actually the most plates I've seen, or most gold, Urith also hitting the plates earlier, so it's gonna be for Lux. Meanwhile, I saw Luden's Echo already completed, so I think one skill rotation with the Final Spark might eliminate, especially in squishy targets, if no shields.
Might just be able to do it definitely with Luden's Echo. This Lux is now becoming a huge threat this early on in the game.
Okay, wait, Pike is nearby. Q is not gonna connect, so nicely done bubble, but no follow-up.
Yep, very accurate bubbles coming in from KZ once again. Unfortunately, well, fortunately rather, was able to pick up, 2 assists already, 2-0-0 on the carry in that lane. Kaisa now with the Storm Razor has hit that first item spike.
Yep, and meanwhile, Vortex still awaiting for her first completed item. Still gonna farm, probably not gonna bank too much, but they are fast pushing this wave. I'm a little bit afraid.
Gragas is here.
Oh, there is the Tsunami. Nice double body slam, but here comes S-Bobby. Will it be too late? Looks like that's it. Amazing casket by Ali here, just denying the flag and drag. Box Gaming is amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I think that they should have allowed that flag and drag, because by that time they had already killed the Jinx. So allowing that Jarvan to actually jump in could have secured, a third kill in that one gank at bot.
Oh yeah, that's true. Or probably very afraid that perhaps Vortex might escape. Whoa! Wait, what? Okay. Okay, from bottom lane, S-Bobby's like, okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna visit mid lane, where Amelia is having a fun time. Top side though, there's that dash in, but Urith will do it and will win it.
Yeah, that's the Urith one trick for you. Just popping the Poppy, and in the mid lane, Jarvan did say, Ali, you're not gonna kill me, alright, I'm just gonna go mid lane and kill your mid lane.
That was the plan, it seems, by S-Bobby, but here comes the kill patrol, even wanting to secure by investing a couple of members at top side, just making sure, no funny business, and feel like it's rewarded.
Yeah, at the moment, they do trade one tower at the bot side from both mid and top towers, so top 10 Dinos here, even though giving a bunch of kills over to Box Gaming, are playing quite the clean macro game.
Exactly. This is a whole new story for us, because we've seen Box Gaming almost always ahead, if not even, but this time around we see the opposition. It's not Box Gaming who has complete control of the map.
And here's the thing, right? You're never gonna beat Box Gaming at scrappy fights. So the way you go against this Vietnamese squad is by playing the smarter macro game, and that's what top 10 Dinos are showcasing right now. And hopefully they do continue this run, so we do have a good series on our hands.
That's absolutely true. During the draft, they did want the 5v5s, and even looking at their previous games, they do seem to enjoy that. And looks like they're gonna get this tower. I wonder if they want to fight and start this.
Oh, definitely going in though.
Okay, depends if the hook will connect. Looks like that's gonna be a no, even the bubble. But look at the chunks of damage towards Bong. Nice root though from Amelia. Not exactly half HP. Oh, they're gonna dash right in. Nice wall slam towards the tower. They're gonna destroy that, and they're keeping S-Bobby in place. They're gonna get rewarded for that one more kill. Amelia is gonna fall in 2 kills for Box Gaming.
Yeah, these are the scrappy fights that we were talking about, right? Jumping in is Box Gaming, just having a party at top lane, and HHQ off the back of that, walking forward, securing another kill onto Amelia with the shockwave. Advantage Box Gaming.
Super beautifully executed. They definitely punished, T10 for staying under tower, perhaps trying to take advantage of a tower dive. But at that point, the tower was quite, air quotes squishy already without the platings, and as well as a lot of hard CCs to secure targets.
Yeah, next major objective on the map should be Cloud Drake. I don't think either team can really go for, these turrets. Naturally, Box Gaming, they want to take that mid lane turret too, so they can begin to play the rest of the map. But as it stands, Box, they are moving towards that dragon.
Very confident, knowing that they are first dibs in that river.
Don't go for the fight. Don't go for the fight.
Oh, we'll see though. It seems to me that they must want it. They might not start anything anymore as they decide to retreat as the dragon has already been slain.
Yeah, at the moment, you want more items on your Jinx before you start going in. Sure, Infinity Edge feeling very, very comfortable, but on the opposite side, this is a very fat Kai'Sa, 3-0 and 3 with 1 items and almost Guinsoo's being completed. So, very strong Kai'Sa. You want more items on your Jinx before going for a full-on team fight.
Definitely going to be scary later on, especially. You're right, even a 400 gold bounty as well, which means Box Gaming is more comfy to play the old styles from before that we witnessed from them. Top 10 Dinos back to being defensive, going to go right in. Ren, very brave. Bubble will not land properly, but looks like it's going to be defense mode once again.
Yeah, a bit of a slow rotation coming in from top 10 Dinos to defend that mid lane tower. Unfortunately, were not in time, so they do lose that turret for absolutely nothing.
Well, at least they might want to start something. Whoa, Bobby is just going to face check, and it seems to me the flash is going to be used. There's the killer instinct. Vortex very, very low. The shield, will it help? Looks like that's going to be a no double kill. 5-0-3 already on Bong.
And that's what we are talking about Champ Select. Bong really has to step up right now to, carry her team. And 5-0-3 on the Kai'Sa, looking like she's about to do so.
But in the meantime, though, Yurith is having a fun time down in the bottom side of the map. Gonna keep pressuring, but at the same time, it makes me wonder, there's not a lot of options for disengage for top 10 Dinos if they do want to play this bait and then we're gonna run away. It's quite tricky as only Amelia has some sort of CC to stop them in their tracks.
Well, in that previous fight, it wasn't really a bait and run away. It was Zbabi running into no vision and face checking. So it was just unfortunate. We were praising Zbabi for being much more reserved earlier on in the day, and hopefully she will be able to, return to that form if they want to come back in this game.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But I suppose looking at their format, it's more of a we're gonna engage you first, and we're gonna have a lot of damage. That's what I think. But at the moment, it's more like Box Gaming finding these opportunities where Bobby and the rest of the squad is not prepared to deal with.
100% agree. We're cresting the 20-minute mark right now, and the gold lead is about 2k. Not too much, but not too little either. Box Gaming, they definitely have slightly more damage right now, and that's only going to be supplemented by this Infernal Drake that is going to be spawning in 2 minutes.
Ooh, it's going to be extra painful. At least it's going to be even in terms of dragons later on. If ever Box Gaming does not utilize or secure that rather. What makes this match interesting is that top 10 Dinos seemed like they were in control earlier, and then just in a snap, Box Gaming just seized everything.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate that it has become this way. I think top 10 Dinos, they were playing a pretty clean macro game, but unfortunately they began looking for scrappy fights and face checking into bushes where they don't have vision, and that was the key that allowed Box Gaming to get back in.
Exactly. I thought there was going to be a fight here. You're right.
The
wet noodle fight. But there's the rest of the members of Box Gaming. A ton of damage going to knock Yurith up, but Ren will secure the kill.
Yep, Yurith 1, 2, and 0. 3 members at bot side right now, which means HHQ, they know she was alone for a little while until KZ moved up. But the window for that engage has closed.
Engage that close, but looks like they're going to start something with Box Gaming. There's the cast. Look at that damage. And Amelia will be the first one to fall, and Ren is going to be in the middle of it all. And at this point, it seems to me that 1 death, or 2 deaths rather, on the side of top 10 Dinos.
Yeah, super quick rotation from Box Gaming to rotate the 3 members that they had at bot back towards mid lane to protect HHQ when she was being chased through the river. And what this allows them to do is now contest this Baron with 22 seconds on Amelia still on the board.
This is crazy. Box Gaming. I wonder if Bobby can make the heroic play. But KZ is just around the corner.
No vision.
There's no vision, that's correct. And looks like they might take advantage of the Nami being all alone, but Ren is gonna just join the squad. HHQ as well. Gonna get, not sure if there's gonna be a shockwave in, but the damage is just insane. Yurit's gonna be behind the enemy lines at this point. A nice bubble once again by KZ, but double kill already on HHQ. They're gonna find another kill. That's 3 in total. Triple kill. Where is the 4th kill? I am not sure, and the plant will save the day.
Yeah, they do manage to get out 2 members alive, but at the end of the day, they don't manage to stop the Baron. So that is Box Gaming with 4 members with Baron.
Quite painful indeed. That is one of the best trades with only 1 death and getting 3 kills on the opposite side.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pushing in the mid lane now, they do have priority over this Dragon. They're just going to increase their advantage here now, the Infernal advantage being equalized across the board.
It's insane how Vox Gaming just turned things around just like that, and now they're back in their element. It seems to me that, you know, all we have to do is just have the 5v5s or the 4v4s and we're gonna be good. That's how confident they are.
Yeah, they really want to pull the enemy team into, you know, the scrappy fights that they do, you know, excel in. And so far they've been doing pretty well with the top 10 dinos post 13-minute mark. So looking pretty strong right now, about 5k gold lead. They have to make a mistake for top 10 dinos to capitalize if the dinos really want to look for a way back in.
Absolutely. They do have a large amount of damage still. They have a ton of bursts, so they are capable of doing so. They have a nice, what do you call this, solid engage here, especially in the form of S Bobby. So it's just all about finding that opportunity. But they do have a nice amount of wave clear. Yurit will meet Ren. Okay.
Okay. Wet noodle fight?
Alright, wet noodle fight. I love that skin though.
Yeah. Hextech Poppy, pretty cute. Oh, which one?
This one. The Yorick Meow.
Ah, that is also pretty cute. I'll give you that. But
yeah.
thank you, Observer, for zooming in on that. Oh.
Thank you. Whoa, there's the Zhonya's being activated. Let's see. Nicely done. Shut down by Vayne on the pike. But that's going to be an exchange kill for Bong. The rest of the squad, top 10 dinos, decide to settle for that.
Yeah, trading the Orianna for the life of the pike, very, very worth. That's your biggest chunk of damage taken out in the form of Orianna now.
That's true. Removing the wombo combo that could potentially happen, especially when Ali body slams into the team fight, which makes top 10 dinos seem a little bit more confident when they defend this outer turret.
Yeah, this is 3v3. The remaining damage is now coming from Bong, and Ali right here also actually stacking AP, so no slouch of her own at the moment.
So difficult to get a hold of, you know, of Bong here, as always aware, can go invisible if she wants to and dodge the skill shot. So most likely you do want to chain CC, and for me, S Bobby really has the most reliable, as, you know, Vayne and Amelia will be the follow-ups.
Yeah, HHQ is now returned onto the board, so that damage threat has, you know, returned along with her. For the next fight, they do have to continue looking for those sorts of picks if they want to find any sort of success.
And with that said, now they're gonna get most of their resources at the moment, maybe even blue buff, to keep spamming in the dissonance and wave clear and everything else, as Amelia will clear the wards in the jungle. At least they do have some sort of control still in this area. Yeah,
at the moment there isn't much to fight for. It's a bit of a lull state, no major objectives to be taken on the map, so I don't expect for there to be an engage right now, but what do I know? It's Box Gaming like play.
Oh, blue buff secured. Okay, mission accomplished. Amelia will leave the jungle. Over and out. That's basically what the conversation is. Not making things up. But yeah, defense mode at the moment.
Defense mode at the moment, except for Yorick, who is pushing up past the river again, wanting to go for that top lane tier 2 tower, but it is pinged out and she has to back off because she has absolutely no vision in that top side of the jungle.
Oh wait, looks like they're pushing through, as most likely the comm says, okay, you can land pokes here and there, make sure that they don't go home.
Yeah, once most of the Box Gaming ladies, they showed up on the bottom side of the map, it was an all clear for York to continue pushing. Vision not exactly needed when nobody's up there in the first place.
It's absolutely true. And we'll see though what they decide to do, as Yurit will just scare away Ren. Ren will defend the base.
Yeah, but this bot lane tower is not gonna be surviving for much longer, I think.
Oh, nice 400 yummy damage. Chalice in, Ether Wisp as well.
Yep, it's super sad for top 10 Dinos right now because they want to play the 1-4. You have Urif on the Yorick, and I think this is the way you crack this team. I mean, you force them to 4v4, and at that point, because they are in such a weak position, Yorick cannot continue pushing up.
Yeah, it's gonna be very risky indeed. And top 10 Dinos, nicely done. Look at the synergized flash. There's gonna be a knock up on Vayne, but just an exchange of ults and flashes.
Yeah, Flash on the Gragas now in trading for the Jinxes and the Luxes. They're going to be significantly less mobile in the next fight, and that's going to be very detrimental to them as Box Ladies rather do center on the Dragon.
Double air drakes on Box Gaming will really boost up, kind of confuse top 10 Dinos in the map and just being everywhere as they please. And going back again, gonna rack up some items. And Executioner's calling already on towards Kai'Sa. Gonna be very difficult for sustained champions on the opposition. Yeah,
that's the main counter to Yorick. I think Daryl and I were discussing that earlier. That once you build these healing reduction items, Yorick has he's not going to be able to join these fights very effectively. And the fact that they did go for that dragon allowed top 10 Dinos now to put down a bit of vision around the Baron, but they're so far behind that is it really going to make a difference?
We'll have to see if there's going to be a potential steal. They do have a couple of skills that can help with that, though, as we have the final spark. We also have the rocket in case everybody groups up. We'll add to the damage in.
Looks like everyone's just going to back off the big purple, where nobody really wants to fight just yet. Box Gaming, sure, they're very far ahead, but they don't think that they can force something beneficial right now.
That's true. I mean, Box Gaming is one of those teams, even though they're quite far ahead, they can try to push their luck. They're still really careful. They want to secure, they want to be 100%. That's why they're doing this very by the book.
There's no vision right there.
Oh, final spark actually goes in here. And what you see as Bobby getting eliminated by the Nami. Vayne wants to run away. We'll see if she has W and a run away, and see nicely done flash as to dodge Bong's W as well. But there's a root, and it seems to me that it's over, but S Bobby will be eliminated.
Very impressed by Bong, very confident jumping in with, you know, all her skills and the flash to go onto the fight. Unfortunately, unable to find the kill, but it's the thought that counts, I guess.
Absolutely. Oh wow. Tanking a bit of hits. I suppose they do have Baron. Totally understandable. Gonna be difficult for Amelia to erase the waves.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any chance for Urif.
Whoa, wait a moment. And Amelia is outside the base, and we'll see if she can get a nice angle in front. She tries to jump in, nicely done, shut down on towards Ali here, and everyone's stuck in this crater. Look at Vortex's normal attacks, and there's another nicely done shutdown. What a turnaround, and even in the bottom side of the map, catching HHQ, and Urith is gonna watch Zhonya's expire at this point. Flashes in for the auto. Urith doing an amazing job with this duel.
And that is the fight that you absolutely needed if you're top 10 Dinos. Able to find the pick and then a favorable engage in the mid lane. And Urith at the bot side just adding on to, you know, that advantage.
Urith must feel really good about that play. Really doing a key moment to eliminate HHQ, especially one of the main wave clears of Box Gaming.
Hey, she carried her team yesterday in that one game, and this time her team is carrying her, so feels pretty good if you're Urith. They're just seizing onto the Nexus turrets now. Very dangerous though.
Oh, nicely done final sparkle. There's a tidal wave. I wonder if this is going to be enough. A lot of top 10 Dinos are hitting the core, and the Nexus will fall. Top 10 Dinos wins game number 1.
Well, how did that even happen? I mean, they were in control of that game for like 20 minutes, and one favorable fight coming in from top 10 Dinos, it just sealed the deal and allowed them to pick up this huge win.
That was crazy. Exactly, that's what happened. I mean, Box Gaming, their winning streak has officially ended in this tournament, and top 10 Dinos seem to know what the formula is to finally end the streak.
Alright guys, welcome back. We are at match point. Top 10 Dinos suddenly turning the game around, and a very unexpected victory to say the least.
Yep, Saria ending the winning streak of Box Ladies. That was really a huge plot twist in the tournament.
Yeah, if you saw how that sort of game ended, it was off the back of Amelia's Lux, who hit a crucial binding on 2 members using the final spark to take them down. And Urith is like, well, I'm just going to PvE my way into the base anyway. I highly doubt that Urith is going to get Yorick the next game. And we're actually joking about this, right? The idea of Urith and, playing Yorick a lot. It's got to the point where I call her Yorith now.
Yorith? That is perfect. That suits her well. But at this point, it makes me wonder because Box Gaming has been the team that really likes to experiment in the mid lane, just having fun. So from having fun in the previous game, now they're not having fun.
Yeah, they might be playing a bit more experimental, like you said, in game 1, because they haven't dropped a single game at all.
Yes.
Sort of pushing your limits, see how far you can go. And now that they finally lost the game in FSL Elite, it might be time for them to turn up the heat, play properly. And I'm not implying that they were sandbagging or anything in the previous game. It's just that it wasn't as clean as we come to expect from Box Gaming. And right now, should be jumping into picks and bans relatively soon in game 2. Remember, this is match point. If top 10 Dinos take this, it's game over. They win FSL Elite.
Yes. And let's see if who's gonna be if there's gonna be a reset, or maybe we have a new crowned region.
Right.
Vietnam or the long MYSG and ID.
Which is interesting because the previous FSL in Q1 was won by Thailand, right? So now, regardless of who wins, we will have a new region winning.
Yes, sirree. Alright, so now I'm curious because HHQ really likes to play a lot of carry, but in the previous game, he played a utility mage with Orianna, so the dynamics will definitely change once they draft something, scarier than Orianna.
Orianna definitely leaves some things to be delivered, as well as when I was watching the match on the side. The Keystone wasn't a serious, what you would normally expect from Orianna. She went for Dark Harvest, which could have been a wrong pick, could have been experimental, but in my book, if you really are trying hard, you wouldn't take Dark Harvest Orianna, for the most part at least.
And a lot of focus again on the top lane, very understandable. I suppose it's natural for the Jarvan the 4th, so that that wouldn't be taken by Box
Think
Gaming.
about it this way, for today, every game that Bubby has played on Jarvan, she has won. So, I mean, it could be the secret ingredient for their victory, but you think about how the Yorick has been banned away from Urith, and the instant reply here is going to be Jinx Nami in the bot lane for Bong and KZ.
I love this. It's really a Box Gaming taking away most of the things that worked out in their, in T10's Lannister series. So it was the Jinx that made it work. And, and we'll see what T10 has for themselves.
Because the Kai'Sa is still left open, I highly suspect they might default back to the Kai'Sa, or even in this case Xayah, right? To deal with the Jinx, and knowing that Thresh is open as well. Vayne did play the Pyke the previous game. Thresh is similar. She does do pretty well on these champs that look for engages through hooks and non-committal CC.
Oh, I thought that was going to be for Urith, but maybe Amelia.
Most likely it's going to be Amelia champion. But there you go, the Thresh. Like I said, left open. It was either that or the Pyke, but I feel like with this Thresh, the bot lane becomes that much more dangerous. You can lantern the Jarvan in, make the gang attack happen much more easily.
Much like a huge team fight composition forming for Box Gaming now with the Sejuani. Makes me wonder what they have in store for their mid lane. They do have that advantage of counter picking whatever top 10 Dinos is going to select for Amelia, and now they're removing most of the mid laners. That's going to give them a headache later on.
I like the way that Box Gaming tends to draft because they know that they're on red side, and I say this so much, right? Because you're on red side, you don't have to ban the Zoe in the first round. If they early pick the Zoe, because you're on red side, you can counter pick. You can have a lot of options available. One of the examples would be Kassadin. You can play Kassadin, you can play LeBlanc into that. So because they're on red side, they can take their time to secure what they think is safe and then move forward with the counter picks, knowing that they have the advantage in the draft later on.
I bet it's another top laner for the bans here on T10 side against Box Ladies. Definitely
there you go.
Forming a comfortable top for Yorith, yeah.
Yeah, the Rise is not a surprise to me because Ren did play Rise on day 1, but this does signal to us that Eurus is probably going to be playing the Nico or the Cannon, and they want to ban everything else in the pool. That might be an issue. Okay, this could be a Zilean mid lane, and it's a decent open pick in the sense that you can blind pick into certain matchups. You can even put it in top with Klepto, but nowadays, you know, with the Klepto nerf, you don't really want to play top lane Zilean all too much. So this should be a mid lane Zilean for HHQ.
This is interesting. You're right. So most likely, what they want is the top lane matchup for Eurus this time around. It's gonna be tricky as they've prepped it so well, as they've expended most of their bans, but that might be the Nico special, or Eurus special rather.
Yeah, so Nico on blue side for Eurus is decent. If you push past the river, it's a bit hard to gank Nico on the blue as opposed to the red, because normally red you can come through the tri-rush. On blue you don't have that option.
Right.
On the opposite side for Box Gaming, it does seem to be the formation of the Protect the ADC composition. So you have Zilean here, who not only provides a reset in the form of the ult for Jinx, but they can put a lot of slows down, a lot of movement speed onto the Jinx as well for her to get excited.
I want to see, for some reason, a Kayle.
Oh man.
Overdone, protect the carry.
I feel like all the KO mains on Reddit now are like, no, don't do it. It's a
don't do
terrible
it.
idea.
Well, she was changed at patch 9.17. At least she can reach her ranged transcendence earlier. So I don't know, but it's gonna be a Camille. I was a little bit hopeful. Kayle is one of my favorite champions.
Right, Camille Sejuani, one of the strongest 2v2 top side matchups you can get because of your ability to not only tower dive early with the reset or Hextech Ultimatum, but also because you proc the Permafrost very quickly.
Right.
So the way you play that combo is Sejuani walks into lane, doesn't even use the Arctic Assault, right? You open with Hookshot, auto, Q, auto. That's 3 stacks. Once Sejuani walks up with her W, it's a guaranteed Permafrost into chain CC. Almost always guarantees a kill regardless of what champion it is.
It's going to be super quick. I thought it was going to be a bot lane Swain Thresh, but Eurus. Eurus. I mean, we did see Zaya mid the other day.
Yeah, that was an option as well, but this time it's going to be Eurus on that Swain, and before the game I was like making fun of her. I was like, Eurus is going to feed on Swain this time because they're going to ban Yorick. I don't know how much of this is going to be true because Swain has that sort of scaling mechanic, the infinite scaling mechanic where you are, you gain bonus health on your passive procs, right?
Yes.
So this composition, despite being double AP, has some sort of leeway in the late game in the form of the pseudo-tank Swain and the Jarvan. They can teamfight very well.
Agreed, and it's one of the solutions for a hyper carry in the later phases of the game. But with the peel that they have, though, I mean, you pair that up with the Nami, you pair that with the second life coming from Zilean and a lot of CCs as well, then I feel like it's kind of hard to reach Jinx.
I think this game is going to come down to whether, like you said, you know, they can get the Jinx and they can fight front to back, because if Box Gaming does isolate the front line, they basically just move forward in units, right? Jinx is auto-attacking, getting kills, moving forward. In that traditional sense, Box Gaming has the lead. But if you think about top 10 dinos, if they can land the wombo combos, you know, Pop Blossom, Cataclysm to Demonic Ascension, I feel like there's nothing much you can do if your whole team gets wiped early as opposed to them fighting front to back.
Actually, they do have a lot of that humongous AoE slows and everything, especially with Thresh's box as well. And I'm looking forward to the wombo combos that they should do if they really want to take this 2-0 and win the championship.
If this is any indication, it should be the AP Nico. Either you go Glacial Augment or you go for the Arcane Comet to sort of make your lane more livable. You know, you can bully Zilean out in the early levels. But that being said, it's going to be a very non-interactive lane. You know, both mid laners want to wave clear. So I suspect this time the focus will be in the top side. Swain Jarvan versus Sejuani Camille. You won't really expect Spubby to visit mid all too much.
Oh, that's true. And I feel like the job of Ali, meanwhile, in the jungle is most likely try to relieve pressure, because I'm sure Spubby will also keep an eye on the bottom side of the map.
It has to be said that both these junglers have been very smart so far. I think they're both extremely cognizant of where they have to be at the right time. They don't path wrongly. They don't get too greedy with the camps. They always know, okay, this is a timing that my laners might get ganked. It's time to visit and reinforce that lane. So I credit to both these junglers. They come in with, you know, a good head on their shoulders at least.
We have Suri, and it makes me wonder how the first game really affected the mindset of Box Gaming, as again their win streak has ended, and I feel like, you know, they've been just usually they've been doing the usual, like what went wrong this time around, like we were winning, what happened? Maybe
they got a bit carried away, you know, having too much fun, but at the end of it, it's about mental resetting, you know, going to a point where you say, okay, we made some mistakes here and there, but overall our gameplay was, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. We just need to shore up our mistakes and be comfortable moving in. You can see the head-to-head here right now the score 1 in favor of top 10 Dinos, Box Gaming from Vietnam, leaving a little bit to be desired as we jump to the video of both teams during our media day. Alright, as we load into game, it's going to be Box Gaming rather, on the red side, and on the blue side is going to be top 10 Dinos. Last shot here for the Vietnamese representatives. If they do win this game, they're going to equalize the score and bring us to game 3 in a series. Right now, looks like a defensive start from both teams.
Could be an aggressive start as they have a solid level 1, especially on top 10 Dinos' side, with a Q of Thresh with a death sentence.
Oh man, she's not looking. Bong has to run, has to juke.
Flash is gonna get burned here, but I feel like that's pretty worth as an early game gank, especially if you might start red side for S-Bobby later on. Might be an early gank, at least you don't have the Jinx doesn't have a flash.
I think they're staying to take this blue buff, and you could see the wards around, right? Past the wall means that they want to see anyone scouting in. If anyone checks this area, they'll be walking into vision and possibly a hook into a kill.
See, as perhaps the cooldown at this point, death sentence might be online. And Box Gaming will respect the fact that there's like 3 members rather in their jungle.
Meanwhile, the response here is that Ali and Ren are going to move into their opponent's blue buff, and they more or less are content swapping sides. So this is what we call vertical jungling, right? You take your opponent's blue buff and then you take your own red buff, and you basically switch sides of the map. So right now, the top half of the map is strong for for Box Gaming, whereas the bottom side is strong for top 10 Dinos, because that's where the junglers are going to be.
Absolutely, and they might rotate here on Urith. Nice death sentence though, land a couple of shots. And the trade though might be on the side of Box Gaming as we transition to the top side of the map, and level 1 and level 2 for both of these members from Box. And at this point, looks like no deaths whatsoever just yet.
S-Bobby will be clearing the Wolf camp and the Gromp. So this is what happens when you vertical jungle. You must take as much camps as possible in your opponent's side, because otherwise you just end up in a deficit when you walk over back to your own and realize that you have not enough CS and camps left to take.
And good job by S-Bobby as well, leaving one little wolf so as to not respawn too soon and get that upgraded experience. Urith in the meantime will just heal up. She's still going to be okay, but we'll see what the plan is for both of these junglers.
I'm actually surprised she didn't go Grasp of the Undying on Swain, because you do need that additional, heal coming in when you take these trades. The phase rush is very inconsequential when the Camille lands a hookshot onto you. You can't really create much space considering how many gap closers the champion has.
That's true. Sustain is definitely the key here for Urith. More sustain, rather. But yeah, interesting dynamic between these two junglers once again. Looks like the Wolf Camp of S-Bobby will spawn sooner, as the Wolf Camp has been devoured completely by Ali. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, I'm looking at the pots here for Zaya. It seems to me Vortex already, she did go Biscuit. I'm not sure, can't see. But she got chunked earlier, so the trade has been won by Box Gaming earlier.
Oh, early recall and a buy coming through for HHQ. She did pick up that Sapphire Crystal and will be teleporting back to lane. So it seems as though Amelia did have a feud day punishing the Zillion in lane. And we were saying how this is going to be non-interactive. Sometimes Amelia plays over-aggressive to push her lead, and it usually works out for her if S-Bubby is around to support her like this.
That is absolutely true. Very comfy. Amazing synergy by Amelia and S-Bobby especially, but she will counter the recall with a flash in the bottom side. As wow. Meanwhile, Bong still has no flash, but this means a bubble, if connected, will be crucial.
I think just a bit afraid there to die in the bot side. Even though there was not much of a kill threat to speak of, the Chompers would have guaranteed a kill, and just using the flash preemptively, just a bit scared. Oh,
Whoa! Nicely done, but the bubble and the Chomper combo will lock Vortex in. And there is the Lantern with the Flay. Good body block by Vayne. The ebb and flow, I'm pretty worried as it will bounce, and it might be scary.
it's okay, they managed to get out without using any summer spells, but they do take away the Ignite from KZ here, so the kill potential when they do go all in again is largely reduced in the bottom half. This should mean that the early recall is coming through though for Vortex's Xayah here.
We'll do get double longswords here. Amelia might be a risk of the double stun, but everything's gonna be okay. They're gonna equalize the recalls and go back and buy some more items. Oh, gonna stop the recalls actually.
That was actually really important because now Bong and KZ cannot recall in time to buy. So effectively, the bot lane advantage now belongs to Vortex because she has double longsword. Additional damage means that the trades are going to hurt more. And if they do deny this recall again, it's going to benefit them a lot more in the long run. But nope, Bong and KZ will back off in time.
It does buy more space for Vortex at this point, but both junglers are actually in the bottom side of the map. The timing is actually pretty perfect here for Jarvan the Fourth.
This board will spot out the sneaky attempt though, and despite going through the wall, there are multiple members here on the side of top 10 Dinos. Teleport coming in.
Teleport, we see at this point. Wow, nicely done play just to reject the aggression coming from Ren. Ignite's gonna take, but it's not gonna be enough as the Dragon will continue to be damaged by Box Gaming instead.
I think this is a bad idea. Yurif has teleport. If they do this, she can join this fight if she wants to. There's all 5 members of Box here. We have to see how this one plays out.
They're super brave because they know Nico has no man at this point. Vayne's gonna be the focus target and the play's gonna be used. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough because the bubble will trap Vayne and First Blood will go to the Mermaid, but we'll see a non-steal as Ali will secure that one.
That was the worst possible outcome in that fight. They lose their First Blood over to the support, which is okay.
Yeah.
But they lose the Jarvan as well as the Dragon. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Super painful for sure. Nice attempt nonetheless, but Urith will take advantage of the missing Ren from earlier. At least we'll get one plate. Normal attacks will kick in as half HP for Amelia at this point, and HHQ is doing a good job zoning her.
Yeah, I think if Yurif didn't want to teleport in, the call might have been just to back off, but as Bubby and Yurif perhaps not on the same page this time, going in for the steal attempt and failing, will give the goal lead over to Box Gaming this early on. 7 minutes in, it's going to be a 1.4k goal lead.
Yeah, Box Gaming super happy with that start for sure, as 0-2 already in the kill scoreboard, but at this point, they do have a dragon for themselves, even an Earth Drake, so that's some yum early objective damage.
It's going to allow them to at least try and take plates early on because, like you mentioned, you know, the Mountain Dragon giving you bonus damage on the structures and neutral objectives. So as you can see, consistently being pushed up is the mid lane and bot lane. They will be able to chip away at the turret plates.
Now this is actually, well, I wouldn't say sad, but quite unfortunate for Vortex because of all the fights going on. A little bit behind in level, so once level 6 arrives, they might be a little bit aggressive alongside Ali when they do. Most likely a lane camp later on.
The Rockets will be pushing the wave up. Meanwhile, we can see they inverted the control in the jungle, so no more vertical junglings. Bubby's going to walk over, take their own blue buff, and hand it over to Amelia, I believe.
And we'll solve her mana problems, and you're still getting auto-attacked so much, maybe not even needing. The rest of the squad is right here, though. That's 3 members. I'm not going to say overkill, but they do want to make sure.
They share the gold in terms of the assist, but overall that was expected. Like we said, you know, this ability to proc Permafrost and keep Yurif stuck in the top side, chain CC out. Get the kill very easily now. 3-0 is the scoreboard for
Whoa! Oh, tidal wave. There's the level 6. Ba-boom, bada-bing. Bong will secure the kill.
Bot lane starting to snowball, and 2-0 Bong is gonna get turret plates as well. This bot lane is gonna become a big problem here for T10D.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Level 6 pulled the trigger, and it just meshes well together. You get at least a knock-up to secure the Super Mega Death Rocket, and that's a lot of plates for Bong and KZ.
I think that was 3 plates.
Yeah.
So that is, let me do some quick math. 540 divided by 2, 270 gold each. Yeah.
Clap, clap, clap. I can never count like you do.
I might be wrong, but yeah.
But it still says a lot. Like, they do have a lot of gold. Recall now, and we'll see what they decide to buy. Rush IE here. Pickaxe, maybe a big best friends forever sword.
Yeah, I feel like that IE is gonna have a lot of value here, so the first item, if you get that, you proc a crit, it's gonna hurt the lane, and oh man, this trade's in the mid lane.
Oh, that's so painful. Okay, patience is a virtue here in the brush.
You can see the number of ranged minions. It means that it's going to be pushing up to the top side. They decide to pull the trigger onto Urith, who is falling very low already. You can see the permafrost keeps her in place, and that's a kill guaranteed by Ali, who's just going to smite Urith down. 2-0-1 is this Sejuani now.
Yes, as you said earlier in the draft, this is expected where they would pull in their resources for Ren at the top side because, I mean, I mentioned Bong and KZ might need to have pressure relieved, but it seems they're fine on their own.
Yeah, they're completely okay. They're just sitting in the bottom lane CSing. They're up 30 CS, and the only lane that seems to be doing remotely well and holding her own is mid, and Amelia is the one responsible for pushing her own advantages in this matchup.
That's true, she did deal a chunk of damage on HHQ, but then again, Zillion's use anyway is to just wave clear, not exactly to kill and transition well to the mid lane, but there's a tidal wave once again. Choppers will not secure and root Vayne here, and Super Mega Death Rocket will miss. It's totally fine. Whoa! Nicely done! Still a flash in, but I think it's gonna be too aggressive.
Using the zap, trying to find the target, but they're just looking for a bit more chip damage on top of the plates. Now that Ali is has gotten her ultimate, she needs to get it off cooldown to see if she can hit the bot lane next to get the turret.
Alright, Amelia, we'll see though if she's gonna go home and buy some items or push the wave and secure the dragon. But she doesn't have teleport, so she will manually walk back at this point, and it's gonna be an air drake, not a priority at the moment, unlike Infernal and Mountain. But we'll have to see. Yes, that's still a pretty yummy target.
If you can get it for free, why not?
Yes.
But I think if you have to skirmish over it as top 10 dinos, you just give it away. At this point, Box is a bit too far ahead to take a 5v5 fight against them. A fair fight would just result in you getting wiped, so perhaps just give the objective away, try to scale on other portions of the map.
Gonna be tricky here, but at least Vayne and as well as Vortex already has level 6, so they do have some form of disengage if ever, you know, Blast Gaming turns to be another aggressive. Oh, there's the bubble in, but as Bobby goes right in, might be sandwiched by the members, but Blast Gaming is focusing on the AD carry at this point, and they will eliminate. Killing spree already for Bong, and meanwhile, we have HHQ gonna use the Blast Cone to escape.
They converge on the bot lane, and like we said, the moment that Ali's ultimate was up off cooldown, they would hit the bot lane because that turret is just theirs for the taking. It's so ripe, it's so free, and now they get the free objective. Translate that over to a dragon, and this is routine play coming in from Box Gaming. Another day in the office and what we expected.
Yep, this is their usual day for Box Gaming in comparison to the previous games, but Urith is still gonna get some platings at the top side of the map. A little bit worrisome if ever Box Gaming decides to transition at the top side. Oh, nicely done bubble by KZ. The W will complement. There's the Pop Blossom as well. Will lock into targets. The flash will be used to escape, and the death sentence will slow them a bit down, but the snipe coming from Bong will finish off the kill.
Across the wall, very simple job for Bong to just finish off the kill there, and this opens up the Rift Herald once more. Box Gaming, their name alludes to them being able to bob and weave around like they are boxing indeed, and this time they hit all the right moves.
Oh man, it's like Box Gaming is saying, how does it feel getting a taste of your own medicine? And it's super duper painful indeed. A lot of secured kills and even a 401 already on Bong with his Jinx. Definitely something that happened before for top 10 dinos when they were the ones using the Jinx.
Get the Rift Herald, this is the window that they can use. They can just jam it on the top lane. Now that the bot duo has swapped up, open up the map a bit more. Alternatively, they can just sit in mid and try to open the map through that.
And Box Gaming has a ton of information once again with their vision game. Obviously very aggressive, creeping up slowly into the base of top 10 dinos here. So no place is actually safe, especially the bottom side of the map.
Look at how deep the
Exactly.
rip, the ward and the rip buff. That's ridiculous. You can see anyone. You can just see the Jarvan right now.
Exactly.
So ridiculous. So deep.
So aggressive in terms
This
of
is
the
like web
warding.
hacking, basically.
Yep, definitely. Okay, Rift Scuttler, at least they do have some sort of vision control for the top side of the map. Death Sentence will reel the Scuttler in. The Scuttler fight. Scuttler dance.
I think
That's not the real one.
Yeah, T10's like, you know what, we don't really want to dance here. Two left feet, not really in a fight here. We'll just back off, and you know, this is the time if you're top 10 dinos. What do you do now? You're back foot, you're on the back foot, you kind of have to turtle up a bit. Just give whatever objectives you have to and just sit back, because the fewer outer turrets you have in the game, the easier it is to defend. So you actually just don't put up a fight. You give them the outer turrets and then you fight closer to your base because it's tighter, it's easier to rotate around, and it's easier to defend.
I absolutely agree with you there. And it seems to me that is the plan in mind, and respecting the fact that this Rift Herald is still pretty healthy and will get a huge chunk before it falls. Whoa, there is the ult coming from Ali here, and looks like the Super Mega Death Rocket is not going to finish the job as two members are trapped in the Cataclysm. That's going to be a shutdown on the bot laners of Box Gaming. It's still not over as Ali might be the next one to fall
here we
as
go.
everyone is collapsing here towards the Sejuani. And here we're going to see the proc on towards the Guardian Angel as Ali will try to run for her life, but Europe is going to meet Ali here. It's going to be a slow death for the Sejuani, but we'll see who gets the kill.
Yeah, guaranteed kill them. Meanwhile, the mid lane, a lot of damage down to Pop Blossom.
Pop Blossom right here. Ren will take the tower shot, and looks like S. Bobby's not going to be eliminated.
Just as I praise Box Gaming for, you know, making all the right moves, they overreach in the top side. When you land all your CC down onto the support and can't commit into a kill, that is a sign you have to back off. And now they overreach way too much. At least T10D get a bit of breathing room and respite here. Despite the goal lead still belonging to Box Gaming, the momentum has been stalled for a while.
Yeah, top 10 dinos. Although before I go over to my point, my bad, it was not a Guardian Angel. I was actually very puzzled why Guardian Angel early on in this game for Ali, but it's actually the Zill ult from HHQ.
It's a bit hard to see when
Yeah.
the skin is white and red, because the Zill ult is like a bit golden, so yeah.
That's true, that's true. But I actually forgot my point. But you're right, the tempo has shifted. And top 10 dinos is one of those teams that is really good from playing behind. We've seen that countless of times during the qualifiers, even during when they faced off against Liab as well. So this is definitely not something that they've never experienced before.
And a point I want to bring up is that every time, you know, top 10 dinos have played against Box Gaming, the games have gotten closer and closer and closer. The previous game, they finally found the victory. They finally managed to take a game off Box Gaming. This time it seems like they might know Box Gaming's number. Oh, hold on.
Yes, Bobby will just burn Bong's flash, and that's a small victory for the next fight later, if ever the flash is still not up.
Yeah, as the series progresses, it seems like T10D have a bit more of an understanding of how Box plays, and they're striking back as well.
Again, the way that, okay, gonna meet the support. Gonna probably walk away casually now, as we see there's a ton of things happening. Bubble will not connect, but HHQ will be in the middle of it all. Will ult herself as Bobby will focus on Bong, the sole AD carry. There's no peel available as HHQ decides to run away, but there's a Pop Blossom, there's a Death Sentence, and that's her death. Ren will try to get a consolation prize, get a kill. They get one though, and S. Bobby might be the next one to fall. Ren is still in pursuit. There's a ton of targets as they are very low, insanely low at this point. And Urith turning into a dragon, a golden dragon at that. The bubble will not be able to force her, force her into the ground.
But look at the top side, there was a 4v5, there was no AD carry there. She's busy sieging down the top tier 1, so in a disadvantageous fight, despite being 4v5, they still trade even 2-4-1, or at least they lose a single member more, but overall, I called it a small win.
That's insane. You're right, without the AD carry, they fought really well. It's just that when Ren came into the party, basically the party was spoiled. And at this point, Ren, I feel like will be the scary one aside from Bong here with 4-2-3 with already a 2-item spike with Runans and IE.
Yeah, the secondary damage threat now for sure is going to be this Camille, who you could attach bombs onto and just, have her deliver it into the back line. The danger is always ever present, especially with the angles that Camille can use to enter these fights. The tempo has stalled a little bit like we mentioned earlier, and this is largely off the picks that T10D have been making throughout the mid lane. Box Gaming opting into an ARAM is not the smart idea right now. I think you play for one split push and have Ren on the bot side like they are doing. It's the ideal scenario for them.
Yeah, gonna give up this outer tower in the mid lane at this point. Gwyneth will transition near the jungle side, and we'll see if they do want to start the fight, because I think this is their favorite angle at the Raptor camp, especially with Espabi as the Jarvan.
Yeah, it's really easy for the Jarvan to jump into the backline through that wall, like you pointed out very aptly. However, they're stuck in the jungle right now. Europe is in a bit of trouble.
Well, there's the Lantern. It's gonna be A-okay. The smooth exit, the smooth rescue rather.
This angle's a bit weird. There's not many people here in the mid lane. I don't think they should be posturing for this. You can see on your mini-map, Europe is quite far away, so they have to retreat because they are not central together just yet.
Yep, and Ren is doing the split push as well, forcing Yurith to walk manually back, and that's a huge chunk though. I think this tower might fall in a while after the next wave arrives, but Yurith will successfully clear the wave, but then again, the danger of Ren still lurking around is still there.
Archangels finally being converted into the Sarah's Embrace for Brazilian here. So we saw in the previous fight, she had to out herself to not go down. This time with the additional shield, she can protect Bong a bit more in these fights. And the response as well from Jarvan is going to be lethality Chad built Jarvan. This is the scumbag go full AD Jarvan. Doesn't want to tank, only wants to kill.
I mean, you just aim for Bong, but they do have an answer for that. Well then, as long as they isolate Bong, like what they did earlier, it's going to be a complete success if they want to win that skirmish. But
easier said than done, Riku.
That's true! It's so easy to get that backline. At this point, it's full rocket, long range already for Bong in this point of the game.
Sejuani moving into the first item core Warmogs here for additional health, and if we do understand anything about Sejuani, it's going to be the Gargoyle Stone Plate next, which is usually the routine build. You want to be in the front line just existing to give the permafrost stacks over to Ren.
It's absolutely true. More utility, be that beefy front line for your carries, especially for Bong. And at this point, we'll see though, because we will see the crazy, tanky, annoying, sustained Urith later on, once we head on over to the game even further.
I feel like the breaking point is if no one on Box Gaming gets Executioner's Calling or Morelos, because then Urith is going to heal up in these fights.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you do need the healing reduction to quite a certain extent here.
But Executioner is Calling, I mean, it does take up a slot, but it's just one of the cheapest things that you can buy for that. And at least you can transition it to other full item builds.
Right, it's only 800 gold compared to like the Morello
Yeah, Morello.
And like the next best is the Bramble Vest, which honestly isn't that good either.
Yep, I mean, at least for Vortex, but here comes the Arctic Assault Vayne will play, but I suppose it's too late. The Nami gets a kill once again, but it seems to me Ren wants to start another fight, but there's another one near the jungle area of the blue buff. But retreat is the answer for top 10 dinos.
Now they need to push out the mid wave before they get access into this pit. Noting that there is a mountain dragon on the side of Box means that this should fall very quickly. The combo is being put to dissuade the engaged forwards, Bubby. It's all on her now. Eyes on the jungler of top 10 dinos, but if she can steal this one away.
Okay, Bubble, not gonna be there, but nice tidal wave, still gonna zone away the members of top 10 dinos. Here comes the Pop Blossom. That's gonna be 2 members down, or 2 members being locked in by the ult of Amelia. But a lot of members from top 10 dinos super low. At this point, they want to focus on Ren, but they are separated, and they have different targets. There's the reset. Get excited for Bong. And at this point, we see there's 2 members down for top 10 dinos.
Yeah, with the Baron buff as well, you know, losing the Baron on the Sejuani isn't all too bad. As long as Ren keeps the Baron buff, you'll be good to go. Can play the 1-4 split push, and that's a mistake coming through from top 10 dinos, losing the support and then failing to convert the vision into the pit.
It was a valiant attempt, but there is still a lot of skills left to utilize to deny some sort of flag and drag steal.
In fact, the right call there would have been to just run into the pit, considering you have Nico and Swain, who both fight very well in these enclosed areas. You could take the 5v5 with them in the pit. As long as they're tanking it up, it's like a 6v5.
They were hoping for a consolation prize, perhaps getting a kill, as they probably thought it was already too late. But then it was a tough decision to make during that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to, comment and criticize
Yeah.
sitting from behind the desk, but it is the tough decision. And right there was a better one. The nerves might have got to them, but top 10 Dinos by no means out of this yet, despite an 8k goal lead. Wombo combo compositions excel, at these miracle situations. If you can find the window, find the fight, you actually do pretty well, despite your opponent's goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, if they manage to get a pickoff on Bong, although that is a little bit hard to do at this point since it is the grouping phase. Most of them, you find them as 4s at this point, maximum. Death sentence.
Oh, going in the backline.
Oh, Cataclysm gonna trap Bong. Where is the follow-up? There's the Zillion ult, but it seems to me that as Bobby, Casey's on a rampage. That's a mermaid on a rampage. That's gonna be a shutdown though. Return kill from Vortex, and Ren will be the next one to fall. And that is the fight that T10 wants to do.
Yeah, if they can rinse and repeat that enough, they should be able to find themselves back into the game. Of course, it's easier said than done, but the flanking angle, like you pointed out, you alluded to earlier in the Raptor pit, Swabi is so confident going into the backline with the flag and the drag through that wall that the rest of the team weren't really prepared. They weren't really making the calls just yet.
It is kind of hard to get that follow-up as they do want to bait. If they are a little bit extended, perhaps Box will read what top 10 Dino wants to do anyway. So it was tough. Like, I mean, if they had a Karma, if they had a Sivir, then perhaps it would have been a better execution.
And also you saw there was very little room to kill Bong before the Zillion out was put on her, right? There was like maybe a half a second, 3/4 of a second before instantly HHQ was like, time to out the AD carry and then we reset in this fight.
Yes. It was quite a tough decision to make, but at least they did manage to pop that off. But look at that crazy wave clear by the Rockets of Bong. Whoa, there's the Tika Sultan. Urith might be in big trouble. There's not going to be any sort of stopwatch available as it has been utilized earlier. Zonya is about to be completed, but this is the opportunity by Box Gaming to push with the siege.
Yeah, they can start sieging up. Baron buff is still available on Nanami. Like you said, on the Rampage, and Ren there had to commit the TP to come in for the flank on Urith. So now they're pushing in. They're looking for the mid tier too.
It's a 617 Nami and she has a bounty. It's crazy.
She's probably the only member you want to kill right now if you want to get gold in your pocket. Like, easy, slim pickings if you can.
It's even at the red buff. I'm the carry now. Oh man. Okay, so half HP on towards this inhibitor tower, but T10 has fully revived already, fully recovered, so it's time to shove the wave.
There's a decoy all along, Riku. KZ is the mid laner, and HHQ is the support.
Oh! I mean, it does. I mean, in her position as a Zillion, it does work.
It tracks. The numbers track.
Yeah. 017. Anyway, at this point, it is going to be a little bit quiet as they do want to get the waves to reset and push further, especially on T10. The problem is that bottom side is still pretty healthy, the outer turret of Box Gaming.
Yeah, the inequality in terms of structures taken down is going to be a problem here for T10, but the reverse is true as well. If you do find an ace, you can push these side lanes out, and in that regard, you get a lot of free gold from taking down the structure, so it's kind of like a pro and con, having a lot of stuff still up on the map.
The Shred already having a QSS ready for the escape later on. So she's fully equipped. Bong is fully equipped with Flash and Heal available as well. Gonna be tough for the next fight for top 10 Dino.
Meanwhile, the items complete on Ren. It's 2 core and a makings of a Gargoyle Stone Plate. Like we were saying on Ali right now, Zonya has done on Urith, like you were alluding to earlier. It's gonna be pretty important right now. Because then you have the ability to pseudo-tank in these fights. You can sit in the middle and zone people away while your AD carry and your jungle supplement that.
That's true. Very handy with the just diving right in the middle of the fight with your Demonic Ascension. And at this point, we'll see, because Box Gaming is a very patient team. Again, like even though they know that they can just try to press head on. A lot of respect still for top 10 Dinos as they have turned things around numerous times.
Yeah, if you caught the previous game, you know why Box Gaming is so hesitant to just rush head in. Because they were so close to winning and then they slipped up in a simple misplay. Cost them the game. This time they are dotting the I's and crossing the T's, playing a bit more safe, and Baron has spawned right now. Look at the vision, it's solely in possession, or at least the vision is solely in possession of T10D.
And they do want to take advantage of that later on, as I see a potential sandwich here. We see Nico. That is their opportune moment to assassinate Bong on the Jinx.
This is actually a great angle for all of them if they commit towards the Baron pit, because not only can Spubby and Amelia come in with the flank, they can actually pincer them from 3 areas in.
Exactly, and this might actually happen as Gwyneth will try to check the Riverside. Is this a great bait made? But looks like no, as that's going to be an instant 4v5.
Should have used the stopwatch, but she was CC'd up and chained down. Spubby's going to pop the Spider's Bloom, and they immediately turn their attention over towards the jungler. They don't want to take this Baron down anymore. Amelia's going to be the next target here.
As the CCs will just keep crawling up. Baron's going to reset, but that's 2 kills in the on Box Gaming's pocket.
The idea was there, but the execution was slightly flawed. It was a bit miscued, and right now, once again, all eyes on this jungler. Oh, she got spotted out!
The Ares gonna spot her out as another one falls. Yep, there was no vision there. That HHQ had a hunch.
When the bomb attached, it's like, wait, hold on. If you play Metal Gear, it's like the exclamation mark on top of the head.
Oh no. Yep. Area pretty much just gave away her position. Actually, Eri sort of did not. I think she walked out of the brush.
Right.
Makes me wonder if it wasn't too late to flag and drag out once the bomb was ticking. So, yep.
Would have been a possibility, but you know, you could see she was maybe debating looking to go in and sacrifice her life for the Baron steal, so perhaps a bit too committed at that point. The goal lead now is 11,000 in favor of Box Gaming. Looking to at least pull this to an even 1-1.
And it's time for the siege. Box Gaming says they do have a lot of threats, ults available up soon, rather. Gonna be very tricky. But again, a lot of respect still for against the top 10 Dinos.
Bobby once more looking for the flank, but this time is gonna flag and drag out. She has more or less learned her lesson from coming in from these side angles.
That's true. And Box Gaming will really target the top side, the last inner turret of the map for top 10 Dinos. And will slowly, most likely, creep in. Whoa, that damage. Yo, and Bobby gonna cataclysm in, trapping Bong, but the rest of the members are still quite far away. The follow-up is not gonna be there. As we see, Bong just gonna be that hyper carry with the red buff, with everything. Is this going to be? I thought it might be a potential pentakill, but looks like that last kill was with HHQ, and this might be game.
Scumbag mid laner steals the pentakill away, and Bong on the back of the Jinx, carrying her team 8-3 and 10. And the support is no slouch either. This bot lane coming alive in match point, the most crucial one of the series. Box Gaming looking to equalize the score.
6-1-5 on the Nami, and this Jinx has reached her spike, and that is gonna be a 1-1 in this BO3 series.
Yeah, Box Gaming now not messing around anymore, turning up the heat. We were talking about this earlier in the game, or at least during the draft. We were saying how they were experimenting a bit during the games yesterday and today. It seems like a game that shows they're here to try hard.
Man, oh man, that was super exciting, and it seemed to me that was that was a dominant performance by Box Gaming, and they seemed very sure. It makes me wonder what top 10 Dino plans to do in the upcoming match, coming from a loss.
Right, I mean, game 1, put Urith on Yorick. It's a bit of a free win, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Second game, Swain didn't really do so well, and I think the coordination on the team could have been better. It seems as though, you know, when they know that they have Yorick in their back pocket, they play a whole different style. But without that Yorick, they seem to fumble a little bit here and there.
That's true, and it's even very difficult because they already expended most of their bans, or all of their bans rather, in the top side of the map. So I feel like maybe that's not quite the solution.
Yeah, but for now, guys, we will be going to a short break. When we come back, we'll see the conclusion of this best of 3. Is it Box Gaming that's going to reverse sweep top 10 Dinos, or can the Singaporeans make this a happy ending and finally find first place in FSL Elite. We'll go for a short break right now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, welcome back to the FSL Elite for League of Legends. It's the grand finale. It's the grand conclusion as we are already at a 1-1 in the best of 3 series between Box Ladies and Top 10 Dinos.
Yeah, 2 best of 3 games today, both taking us to 3 games. My goodness, imagine if we had more. Of course, FSL Elite happens as once every so often, so we will do our best to keep you guys updated whenever we do. Come up with new FSL Elite, the Season 1 happened earlier in February, and that was pretty exciting to say the least. Thailand were the official winners, and now we are going to have a new region coming in as champions. It's either Vietnam or Singapore, and we're looking to find out in this 3rd game as we jump into picks and bans relatively soon.
This is going to be a test of the who can do better in the longer series. As we see Box Gaming, I mean, they did all BO1s so far, I believe, and meanwhile, Top 10 Dinos have been a little bit challenged as they have been through 2 BO3 series for today.
I think challenge is a bit of an understatement for Top 10 Dinos. In fact, when the Yorick goes away, and this is starting to sound a bit, repetitive, but when the Yorick goes away, Top 10 Dinos feel like they're struggling a little bit in terms of how they want to play the game out. And it's going to be no surprise that the Yorick is banned again once more from Box Gaming.
A lot of respect for Eureth here in the top side of the map. It seems to me that the climate for the draft might be the same as they will continue to ban top laners for T10.
If you think about the history of Top 10 Dinos as a team, they've consistently always placed 2nd or 3rd, right? Every time you think about the Singapore qualifiers for FSL Elite, or be it the Girl Gamer qualifiers, they place 2nd for that, and the second one, 2nd for the 2nd Cup respectively. So the 1st place eludes Top 10 Dinos. It continues to elude them, and they will be looking for 1st place this time as we see the Jinx locked in immediately for Bong.
Let's see, as the Jarvan for Lucky Strike wasn't able to continue its streak, as it did lose in the previous game. But it is open. Looks like they're opting for different AD carry this time around.
It could very well just beat the mid lane Tristana that we saw earlier today. It has very strong level 2 all-in kill potential, but could also be flexed. And Top 10 Dinos now not pulling any punches. They say, well, we can flex Tristana mid or ADC. You guys don't know yet, so we will have full advantage in this draft, knowing that we are last to pick.
There's a lot of burst to be had with the Tristana pick. I mean, if it is going to be the bottom lane duo, Tristana and Thresh, they do have a huge amount of damage, but looks like they're drafting the same thing.
The Zoe coming in.
Oh yeah, Zoe is open. So they opted to just, okay, we're gonna pick our mid laner in the 1st phase.
Remember how I was saying you don't want to open pick Zoe just in case your opponent counter picks you?
Yes.
This time they pick the Zoe, they immediately ban the Fizz. So they have 2 bans to sort of cycle through what they think might be a counter pick for them. So this is another way to circumvent why the Zoe can be open pick early on. Another statement is that this is the last game. It's do or die. I might as well do or die by the Zoe. I don't want to go home feeling like I could have played this champion, but I didn't.
That's true. We did hear a couple of... We could have won that game from Top 10 Dinos, and they're going all in on this one. And Amelia's Zoe really is going to be scary, but it will depend what will the mid lane matchup be.
So you look at the last 2 bans from Box, it's going to be Jarvan and Kayn. So right now, Zimbabwe's going to have to pick up a completely new jungler, something she hasn't played at all today. It's going to be the Sylas instead here. For the jungler of Top 10 Dinos, could be flexed into top lane, but it's not really in Eurus' wheelhouse, I believe. In this case, because no Kayn, no Jarvan, no Poppy, it will be the Sylas.
And before it's a surprise.
Right, she has
secret
this like
training.
press in case of tie, and then she just pops it open and they win the game off her.
Oh wow, even preparing for the in case as they lock in that Darius as well as Karma mid.
So Karma mid here going up against the Zoe. You try your best to play a non-interactive game. Every time you get hit by the Sleepy Trouble bubble, you pop your shield at the last minute to absorb the damage. It makes sense in theory.
And it does really, what do you call this? It makes dodging much easier with the movement speed as well.
The value of that is also now you can, sort of play to protect the Jinx a bit more as well. We saw how the previous game it was the Zillion to keep her alive. This time it's going to be the Karma to give her additional shield. And we're saying the value of, empowered shield Karma allows you to chase in.
Exactly, and start a team fight, and this is the strength of Box Gaming. They do love their 5v5s, their skirmishes, and this meshes completely well with their 4-man and their 3-mans.
The Ornn is going to be the selection here for Urith in the top side. This tank was seen during the Singapore qualifiers. I believe Urith was banned out and they opted for that. Now, what is the value of the Ornn in this composition? Well, you have on-demand CC to start fights. You also have an on-demand CC to disengage. In this sense, you want the Ornn to be like that wall, that gatekeeper, as it were, to stop people from rushing you. And if you do successfully deflect the aggression, you kind of rely more on Silas than to steal an important ultimate to make things happen.
And there's a ton of poke as well. They can utilize Zoe once they're low. That's the time they might go all in with the Ornn ult as well. So from the back line. So I think it's a pretty interesting interaction, if you ask me, for just trying to distract, or rather trying to penetrate the back line.
There will be a couple of very wonky interactions here when we see how Zoe and Tristana interact. Because they're always going to be looking for a single target pick-off and then resetting forward, right? So the idea here is call your targets. Make sure you focus your damage properly, because if you do find the correct target, it becomes much easier to play the fights out with Tristana. So if you see, a team fight being spread out, damage isn't really focused, more often than not, 9 out of 10 times, top 10 dinos will lose the fight.
It's going to be difficult indeed. They do have to get control of the early game first, for sure. I mean, not control the early game, but stabilize it as to not allow Box Gaming to just run rampant like game number 2.
Right, and for those of you that don't know what Riku is referring to, is the fact that in the previous game, Box Gaming took a very overwhelming lead. Just out the gate, they found multiple kills, put themselves on the board very early on, and kept Ren ahead by suppressing Urith. If they do the same thing this time, Darius against Ornn, the moment that Darius gets ahead, it's GG, go next. In this case, there is no next. It's GG, we win.
Exactly. We are in the grand finals, and we will find out after this game who will be the crown champion for the FSL Elite League of Legends. And I'm excited because it's quite even, if you ask me. Like, even though, let's just say, Box Gaming had a dominant performance in game number 2, it's more like top 10 dinos has a lot of miracles in the...
Yeah, they always somehow manage to steal a win away out of nowhere. And this ability to do so, it's largely due to the fact that they've been practicing and playing together for quite a while. The core trio of this team does understand how each other functions, and the chemistry is pretty strong, right? So sometimes you see, even when they play, if you look over the player booths, they're not shouting a lot. They more or less have this innate knowledge, even though people insist that you need to call your targets early and communicate. It's almost like they're psychics somehow, and they just understand each other, right? So that in itself is just another endeavor that they have. Right now we are getting word that when we go into game, there will be a slight pause due to a possible technical issue, but we talked about how T10D has sort of been chasing for that first place. It's always eluded them. They've always been sort of second place for the majority of the FSL and Girl Gamer events.
Yes.
Box Gaming coming in clean for the first time, knocking out the previously directed invite EVOS Valkyries to find themselves as the Vietnamese representatives. And now in the finals, the last game, you have to say, what a great showing for a team that is the first foray into FSL.
Absolutely. Vietnam last February was, I believe, 3rd place. With at 2nd place was Singapore, and as well as 1st place was close behind esports in the Thai team.
Well, now we will be throwing it to a video of both teams introducing the players as well as the IGNs. Stay tuned. On the riff, and like we said earlier, there's going to be a small pause coming through. Oh.
Hi.
Hi, it's back to us.
Yes, it is indeed.
I had a script prepared for how Box Gaming was going to win the game, but I don't think... Oh, there you go, you can actually see it, right? So this was my script, right, for Box Gaming of how they were going to win, right? So step 1, you ban Yorick, done. Step 2, don't in, super important. And the third one is you just play the game, and then guess what? Step 4, win FSL Elite. So this is my script for Box Gaming if they want to take the FSL Elite Cup, right?
Wait, what is the question mark again?
Question mark is you just play the game, easy
Play
money.
the game.
Right, yeah.
Mark,
so this is my script for Box Gaming. If they do follow through, they will win this. And it's up to T10D to spoil my script right now.
Trying to counter Daryl's script here. We'll have to see with the composition at the moment. Again, this is game 3 between Box Gaming and Top 10 Dinos. This is the time. Strong level 1s though on the side of T10.
Yeah, and Box as well, no slouches themselves. Urith with the knockup. I mean, if you level up the knockup to level 1, you kind of concede the lane, but it is a strong level 1 skill. Instead, it will be a defensive fan coming through from T10D.
They spot this out. They do spot the Nami, I suppose. Just the Nami. So she respects that. Will back away. It's gonna scout a little bit, seeing pings here and there, but they do have a ward at the red buff.
There was a mutual vision given over to both teams, but right now the question is, you know, Bobby isn't sure whether they've left the jungle or if they're still inside, so she has to throw a very cautious ward over the wall. Right now, they're just super afraid to even check, so you can see she's like pathing across, being very careful. She's pinging assist because she don't know whether she can start this red buff by herself or is she gonna be ganked here.
It's gonna be difficult as Ren and HHQ still around the corner. They don't have vision of it though, but now T10 has called for backup. This might be a little bit risky if Box decides to go, and now they spot that it's too risky to do.
So the ward was spotted, well, put down, and Urith being the sacrificial lamb was actually the one to face check that brush, and now that they know there's no one inside, absolutely free to do, they will be safe attempting the red buff. So both junglers starting on their respective red buffs means that they'll path towards opposite sides. This results in Ali being rather ending her jungle path in the top side and Swubby ending in the bottom half, which is great if you want to get some kills early on for the Thresh as well as Tristana.
Absolutely. T10 Dinos a little bit extended in their lane, but I'm not sure if Ali would want to gank that at the moment. Most likely will probably rotate at mid. And we'll have to see as she finishes her Krugs this time around, as it seems the level 1 first skill would be W, the ebb and flow for KZ. So not a lot of hard CC chain locks if ever you know, the jungler of Box Gaming decides to scan.
This lane is gonna live and die by the skill shot, so if you hit Aqua Prison, well, you're in a bit of trouble, but if you hit the bubble like that...
Nicely done bubble, and a flash is forced from Vortex here, but that's gonna be an exchange of flash and ignite.
Like we said, live and die by the skill shots. You catch 2 people in a bubble somehow, you will force the flash. Now early advantage going the way of Box in the bot lane, Zurif having to be very careful.
Get the DOTs from the Dunk Master Darius here on the Ren. Man, it's just, I'm so amazed by KZ time and time again that every time she's on the Nami, those bubbles are just so yummy.
And she's, you know, she's performed really admirably on this Nami. I'm surprised that they don't even consider it a threat. You think about how in the previous game she had the KDA of a mid laner, right? She was a
617, I believe.
617 running on the rampage. She's proven that she's super comfortable on this champion and is willing to make the aggressive plays if necessary.
Yep, Suri. KZ, scary Nami, but S Bobby will finish that Scutlerin, providing vision. But seems to me that Box Gaming just want to apply vision at that riverside. As here comes the pull by Ren.
The apprehend will bring Urith back in range, but because she has the biscuit, oh, hold on, bowling.
Another, wow, the Chomper's last tick after the rocket jump, but still safe. But they have to be careful about that, as we see at the top side of the map, and at this point, Ali is taking tower hits.
Oh, hold on, the bleed.
Flash?
The bleed pulls the aggression over onto Ren, so you have to respect that there's so much CC on Urith's side.
Nicely done by Urith here, just scaring away Box Gaming to do a full-on tower dive. I mean, at this point, level 3, if you don't do a swoopy-doo kill, well, most likely you might get outplayed.
So Urith absorbing the pressure, it's something we come to know and expect from her in the top side. Meanwhile, the early buy coming through from Vortex is going to be a pair of boots and a single dagger for the attack speed. Choosing not to default to the call, which would have more or less conceded her lane.
Absolutely true. Expecting action later on, especially when probably Sylas reaches level 6. So they are going to try to just manage the wave here for the bot lane one, especially, and watch out for KZ's bubbles. Danger. No mana for HHQ. Most likely these two top lane, mid laners rather, might go home and recall.
Yeah, she needs to at least back off and reset a little bit here, but she's looking for a window. So this is usually the time where you can call for your jungler to come to the mid lane to help you push it out. But seeing as she is Karma, you can press RQ and the wave dies anyway.
That's true, but she doesn't have... Okay, so the lane is meeting in the middle. I was a little bit worried because Vayne recalled and she's actually near the middle lane. That could have been a prime opportunity to burn a flash. At this point though, Infernal Drake is the first dragon of the game. A lot of pressure for both of these teams to take that first.
I actually want to take a look at the bot lane because if you play AD carry, you'll know that this is a freeze that can be executed here on the bot side because of the number of ranged minions. KZ and Bong can just sit behind under their turret and farm indefinitely unless Vortex and Vayne play aggressively and push it out. But instead, nope, they're just going to clear the wave.
Alright, clearing the wave. Easier to keep that in that area anyways. Still pretty balanced, still safe, not overextended. So props to Box Gaming for their wave management. Amelia though doing a good job keeping the karma intact here for HHQ. Probably not a familiar scenario for this player, as she's most of the time she's the one initiating the pressure.
Yeah, it's a response pick towards Amelia's Zoe, so you kind of expect her to just survive the lane, you know, respect the damage coming through, Paddle Star connecting. It's usually the counterfeit flash and the counterfeit summer spells that gives her a lot of trouble, because that's why Zoe is so irritating to play against.
There's just so many ways to escape, or a lot of more extra items that she picks up from the ground. But I see a ton of defensive vision once again. This has been unusual from Box Gaming because normally we see a lot of extended wards, but then I suppose it is a little bit early to have a little bit of aggressive wards at this point.
Yeah, because the bot lane is a bit of a stalemate, there's nothing much that the supports can do to journey out. You see Bobby here sitting in the river. They're trying to make a gank happen. There is the lantern up. Vayne can flash to get the Sylas in range if they really want to force this gank.
That was the prime opportunity to try to go in because the bubble already was used. And looks like it's gonna miss once again. Nice steal on the Tsunami. Death Sentence gonna miss as well. And seems like they're just gonna exchange a bit of ults here and there.
So there was the extreme way you could have carried out that gank. There was the more average way, which was that. You come to lane, steal the tidal wave and force a flash so you can re-gank that lane later on.
Definitely nice clear wave at half HP. Sleepy Trouble Bubble will not make her sleepy, make Karma sleepy rather. But as Bobby, I thought she's gonna try her luck again in the bottom side of the map, knowing that KZ has no flash.
What she's doing down now is just put down vision so that they can spot out the Sejuani just in case the jungler for Box makes a counterplay towards the bot half. They can still focus down the dragon and clear the wards out first. A lot of aggression here.
Nicely done. So a lot of pressure on the mid lane, which really allows or gives a lot of room for T10.
There's a control ward there, so they know that this Infernal Drake has been started up, but what can they do here?
Oh, bubble though. No Tsunami to watch out for. That's just going to be a level 6. There's the prison, and Ali will focus her target, focus her efforts on Vayne, and meanwhile, as Bobby will escape. But first blood will be drawn here, and the 9-minute mark almost ran with the dunk, and the tick will finish her off.
Overcommitment on the Infernal Drake. Remember, there was a control ward inside. I'm not sure how confident they were to start that one up. Must have been a misplay or oversight coming through from top 10 dinos, like our observer is showing right there in the back of the pit, because they pulled it out and they don't have the tankiness, they don't have the sustain to do the objective this early on. They will get punished. 2K is the lead right now for Box Gaming.
That's true. I feel like they got a little bit excited seeing that Bong and KZ doing the recall animations and thought that they went home. It was the perfect timing, but Box Gaming canceled their recalls and just interrupted the Dragon Tape.
There's still a scaling element here. Remember when we saw Amelia play the Zoe, she was able to find these, tricky paddle stars off the side. And if you can isolate the right target, there is the window for you to find these kills. Right there.
Yeah, like this. Here's the paddle star. Long range, half HP. Going to return with the Q from Karma. But still painful though.
Do that consistently, you'll be able to find a pick. You could isolate people from the game and... For now, they're going to back off the bot side. Amelia still trying her best to poke away at HHQ. And as this mid lane matchup continues, Amelia is only going to scale up, whereas HHQ is going to move into utility after the Luden's Echo.
Amelia here, going to keep focusing on the caster minions, as she wants to keep HHQ on that part of her, on the lane rather. And now we see S Bobby probably gonna meet Sejuani, the enemy jungler.
Right now, there are like 3 really good ultimates you want to steal if you are Silas. Bobby definitely wants the Glacial Prison, she definitely wants the Super Mega Death Rocket, and she definitely wants the Tidal Wave. All of this will allow her to facilitate the ganks more successfully, so whether she can journey down to the lane to steal those is going to be the next question here for me.
That's true, a lot of juicy ults to steal. Probably not so much on Karma.
Yep, the Karma's out is a bit meh, you don't really want that.
It's like one of my favorites. One of my weird favorites is like stealing Dark Hour from Vayne.
Or oh man, that's like the worst thing you can steal. No, that is effectively the worst thing you can steal.
Anyway, bot lane, totally understandable why the state of bot lane would be like this. Although we do see a huge CS lead for Bong here on the Jinx. Gonna really slowly creep up their lead. Actually, not slowly, or ramp up their lead rather. And even forcing the minions to stay in that area, not meeting the tower.
20 CS ahead, but this counts for a lot more considering that Bong has showed us how comfortable she is scaling up, and it's a 600 gold lead, right? So 20 CS, 600 gold, more or less okay. The assist as well. The story here is that in top and mid, they're starting to climb just a little bit.
Okay, top side. Probably not a wet noodle fight here. Ren will take a tower shot, just one.
Oh, sorry, it was top and jungle. Parallax error.
Oh,
hold on.
Gonna flash in. There is the ult from Ren. The dunk will be successful.
Gets her to 2-0-0, and this opens up Rift Herald for Ali to take, considering there's no one left on the top side. And look at your mini-maps, Bobby is in base recalling and some shopping.
Oh!
New pair of shoes. Amelia here doing some good damage down onto HHQ.
Yep, they have no vision on the Rift Herald, and just imagine if ever Amelia did find that low health Sejuani. It's been a really nice battle star. Just one poke even. But
be careful.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I was a little bit close, but Ali knows the estimate.
Even uses the Empowered Recall, so maximum value on that Rift Herald. Eye of the Herald, of course, gives you a quicker recall timing. But seeing as the Rift Herald has been taken, you can see Bobby is now journeying into the bottom half of the jungle.
Ooh.
She's trying to circumvent the wards though, and she gets over the wall into the Crux. Now the ward in the Tri-Brush is going to spot her, but is this too little too late?
They do have ult though. Here's the rocket jump. The bubble will not connect onto S Bobby, but they decide to pull back as there is 2 teleports. Make that 4 members at the bottom side of the map. They reel in Vayne. It's going to be too late, and Ren is going to be on a killing spree.
But what's the response here? They commit 2 teleports to the bot lane. There's no one on the map for T10D to reply. It's only Eurith that's only going to get a bit of damage, chip damage on the top side, but Amelia has recall.
Oh my, you're right. Amelia has recall. And, I don't know, manually walk back, but a lot of the full turret plates will be acquired by this 4-man here. Shared effort, gonna give you A for effort during the waves, but for more gold at least. But it's gonna be a little bit risky.
That is so much gold in the pocket of anyone that was around the turret was being taken. Zwabi here can't even duel out against Ali, knowing that the opponents are running and storming up the river. This is another Inferno Drake. What RNG they're rolling right now.
That's so painful, and I'm pretty sure Top 10 DINO is scratching their heads at this point as they watch the dragon fall without them without them being given the chance to retaliate whatsoever.
Takes the lantern out, dodges away from Glacial Prison. Vayne at the right spot at the right time.
Need not use the lantern as well, but I suppose yours got a couple of plates before it fight, so I think at least they didn't get nothing from that.
Best case scenario is that Eurith got a bit of an accelerated goal curve there, but Bobby has, on this Silas not impressed me considering she's failed to make her impact felt on the map. Twice she hit to bot lane, twice she's only stolen the tidal wave to fail a gank, and that feels bad. If you're someone that's so aggressive, you really want to make the moves happen.
That's true. Especially as a Silas. But then again, it's because Box Gaming is just all over the place. And just as I said, now they're gonna jump on towards Ren. They're gonna steal the dunk. Coming from Ren. He doesn't have a flash anymore.
All the board got coming through, and the dunk might not be enough as Ren turns the fight around and double dunks back.
Wait,
Looking for the triple here, but will get finally taken down by Amelia. Not expecting the damage through from Red. Super Mega Death Rocket gonna sail past. And my goodness, 6-1 now the kill score. 5k is the goal lead for this Darius, who is 5-1-0.
No wonder HHQ really wanted to find the Zoe. She had flash. She wanted a flash RQ so bad, but Rift Herald will most likely eliminate the mid lane, as that's 4 members just colliding in that part of the map.
Team 3 looking like it might belong to Box Gaming right now. The second charge on the Rift Herald pushing down. Need to clear away this objective. Alpha Prison dodging away from.
And back to the reset for C10. An unfortunate, supposedly a fight that they could have won. But again, Box Gaming, just as I said, everywhere.
Sneaky.
Oh, okay, the bubble will miss the 3 members of Box Gaming inside the brush.
Oh,
Will
man.
face check. Look at the chunk of damage towards Bainey. Vortex might be the next one to fall. Just one more rocket. Heal forced to be used. Even the tower hits. Abong will ignore that. And Zoe, Amelia will suffer the consequences of wanting to get a consolation prize. 3 kills and with Box Gaming.
You know, Riku in Singapore, we have the saying, buy 2, get 1 free. That was exactly that, They set the cam up for both members, and Amelia overstretching right there gets caught out. This is a tough situation for top 10 Dinos.
Overly tough indeed, as they have to recover again. They just lost a skirmish in their own jungle and had it happen so soon as well. So at this point, Box Gaming is pretty satisfied with that, taking a lot of objectives around the map.
You don't have to accelerate the pace of the game because at the end of the day, they're still the ones with the jinx, right?
Yes.
You can still play the 1-4. Ren is more than happy to sit and fight Urif 1v1 in the side lane.
Triforce has been completed like a few minutes ago, and 5-1-0 with a bounty. 203 though, at least IE already completed.
She hasn't bought in a while. I think she's actually holding quite a bit of gold in her pocket. If we can swap over and toggle, see how much Ren has right now in unspent gold, I think it would be somewhere in the range of 1.4k.
Ooh, that's a lot. Probably waiting for trying to maximize the recall, I suppose. And at this point, it's complete control once again by Box Gaming. This is more of a style that they're familiar with in top 10 Dinos, but this is also familiar for them, the playing from behind part of the game.
Yeah, don't discount them out just yet of this series, because remember, they stole the game away in game 1,
Yes.
right? It was such a clutch victory that came out of nowhere.
Yep, Suri, they're pretty sly, or rather, most likely they really know what to do when it comes to playing from behind and playing against Box Gaming in particular. And it is quite hard, but with the comp that they have, they can potentially make pickoffs and take advantage of that.
Right, remember I was alluding to this early on in game, or at least pre-game, right? Focus your damage. Focus on a single member. Maybe get the resets, then it becomes much easier from then on. It's super tricky when you split your damage up, and granted, Box Gaming is very sly in the fact that they split up. They don't fight together.
That's
right?
true. Even though it is their game to be... oh wait, you could potentially see a fight here as they will concede top 10 Dino will concede the inner tower in the bottom lane. Too risky to rescue with at the moment.
There's no reason, to overstep and contest that. Just give it away, turtle inside your base. There's always this situation where it becomes much tougher. Oh, hold on.
Okay, HHQ is going to be the prime target at this point, and a lot of sustain for Silas, but then again, a lot of damage as well for HHQ. Does have a form of sustain as well with the tether from HHQ on this Karma pickup, and the Lantern will not save the day.
They get the Silas on the top side, and they get the Cloud Drake for free, and I hate to call it too early, but 8k gold ahead, it does seem like a slight tilt is forming in the minds of T10D.
Very difficult scenario as Box Gaming, just after that loss, feel like it sort of activated some sort of, okay, wait, let's get the bubble out. Tidal Wave as well. Okay.
They tried sieging top tier 2 right now. Items coming in. It looks like Darius is still yet to buy. I feel like I really want to see how much gold that Ren has in her pockets because she really doesn't care it more. 2k in pockets of Ren. Flexing a little bit. In fact, multiple members of Box holding more than a single... Also holding more than 1.2k.
Yeah, except for Ali on the Sejuani. Wow. Okay, we'll see if Runan's already completed. Not yet. Yep, they're staying around. They're recalling, and this is the prime time. Once they get all of their really yummy items, and that's probably the time, you know, they can be... I mean, they're already brave right now, like before they did the recall. So
now they can be even braver. They can run into the face of danger and just wipe them all out.
Yep, and they can probably try to bait out Baron, as top 10 dinos are known to be the team that are really pressured to keep doing Baron steals, and maybe they do want to take advantage of it.
They can take advantage of that. They will find Tally here in the top side. She flashes out. Doesn't want to have any part of that skirmish right there as they look to disengage. And remember, Ren in base with no teleport means that best case scenario is going to be a 4v5.
It's going to be a difficult scenario as when they're... And then again, we haven't exactly seen them 5v5 just yet. It's more of Box Gaming catching top 10 dinos off guard and matching S. Bobby's pace. Bubble will be used to zone, but nothing will happen there.
So Zapper's going to catch Impact Vortex in the back, and that's a good deal of damage still.
Gonna get most of the resources as they know that red buff is up. Most likely someone would want to get that. D-ward first to get full control and give it to Bong. Woo! Slow and burning rockets for sure for later.
With the Runan's Hurricane, like you mentioned, completed already, these rockets are not only going to crit when they spread out, they're going to slow as well, so that's going to hurt for anyone that is clumped up. And speaking of clumped ups, Bobby has to flash over.
Oh, here we go as Bobby is going to fall once more. Most likely just wanted to get wards in the jungle or maybe even the blue buff, but they find another primary target.
This should be Baron here. Without the jungler up to contest, Box Gaming immediately turn their sights over to the next big objective here. 10,000 gold a hit, 11-1 is the kill score. This is certainly the last nail in the coffin you have to feel for T10D here.
We're gonna do an attempt for Zoe and the Paddle Star, wanting to get the squishies, especially the Jinx. Let's see if there's gonna be a death steal! And Faney does it, ladies and gentlemen! That is worth the sacrifice, getting the flail in. It's gonna be fine as Vortex will just run away.
Oh man, this Messiah here finding the steal with the hook. How did that even come out? I thought it was gonna be the Paddle Star that connected, but out of nowhere, it's just a death sentence.
That's crazy. At least that, you know, minimizes the power of going all in for HHQ.
Hello?
And
is she inching?
Oh my word. Wanting to get that kill on towards Eurus. That is interesting.
Yeah, interesting with emphasis on the INT, and now T10D with a bit of renewed vigor. Staring down defeat and coming out ahead. Still holding on by a thread. Don't forget, the goal lead is still 12k, so Bobby here now might just fine.
Oh, okay. As Bobby was deciding whether or not to go, but it was too late. The recall already went through, but that was interesting. It's always about taking a chance, and that death sentence wind-up really was the perfect timing.
The skill shot has something like 150 magic damage before resistances, right? How do you even steal the objective? I don't understand.
I mean, they had a lot of damage. I think they had Smite even.
Right.
So, yeah, great job by Vania taking a chance on that sentence. But yeah, so at least they do have the Baron empowered minions to at least help them shove the wave, if you will.
The Baron Power Minions actually is super valuable because now, like you said, not only shove the wave, but defend, right?
Defend,
so
yes.
When you keep the minions powered up, it's much more difficult for Box to just push in. The momentum is pretty much stalled for now. Remember, the key to victory here for T10D is to find the target, isolate these crucial hicks, and then kill them before the fight breaks out.
Yep, absolutely true. Still no QSS for Bong here, as there's still a couple of items taking a lot of slots, so totally understandable. But then it will be really crucial later on, especially when the bubbles coming from Amelia, as well as the death sentences, want to be crucial later on.
At most, this sort of raises the win rate for T10D from like 5% to like 15% because we can't neglect the fact that the gold is still in favor of box gaming. If you saw earlier, the discrepancy between the AD carries is like 3k, right? That's close to an Infinity Edge completed. That's an extra item done. So T10D, although they are holding on, it's still a very much uphill battle for the Singaporean representatives.
Yeah, probably have to wait for sieging opportunities, or rather when box gaming sieges, that's probably the time they can take advantage and do the same thing that they did in game number 1, except for the fact that they don't really have a hyper carry like the Jinx. I think it's a little bit lacking for the Tristana.
Yeah, Tristana, even though you know she's pegged as a hyper carry, still needs the levels.
Yes,
you only
sure.
get additional range when you do level up. In terms of items, she's super far behind. Like a single Infinity Edge, not even completing the static shift or rapid fire cannon yet, is gonna hurt.
Absolutely true. You're right. Still needs a couple of levels in comparison to Bong already having the time of her life with the 204 and a ton of gold in her pocket. So that really speeds up a bit in terms of her growth and her scaling. But what I do want to point out is that if top 10 dinos are having the space to actually do the pokes with Amelia, then that's probably the time they can combo it with Vortex with all the resets of the rocket jump.
Amelia has to do that, but like on the Karma and on the Jinx, if she can find these picks, then sure, you know, it prolongs their lifespan in this game. But against Ren, you can see how little damage the Zoe Paddlestar does. Now, one wrong misstep from top 10 dinos is going to cost them this game, and right now you can see they're playing so defensively, so scared inside their own base. They don't want to get caught out. Aqua Prison or a Zap is going to be quite disastrous for them.
Understandable, alongside with the Glacial Prison as well. It's gonna be scary as the tower is already half HP. They can time it perfectly if they want to do the dive now, and probably not give a chance for Amelia to do the poke, and even bottom side is pressured.
Amelia trying her best to land the skill shots, but it's all in vain from now. We're counting on a miracle for her to thread the shots through the needle.
Just so many threats, especially at top side as well. Ureth is busy with Ren, with the Darius, and unfortunately the Karma doing a good job as well on the bottom side of the map. Oh, there's gonna be a fight here as the bubble will not land. The Glacial Prison is way over there, and a nice stopwatch, but at this point it's stalling potentially as Bobby's death and Bong is on a killing spree. They're going to be focusing their efforts right now on the tower and now the inhibitor.
Overextending just a little bit, this inhibitor is going to fall, and so is the bottom one, you have to imagine, soon after. They're still 5 members strong on box, and they're knocking on the base of top 10 dinos right now.
And at this point, that pursuit, they are onto Bainey. The flash will not help. They're knocking towards the Nexus turrets at this point. Gonna push. Ureth is gonna just reposition, and the bubble will not connect. But everyone is gonna
excited.
Get excited. There's the resets. There's everything. There's zoning. Vortex might fall using a flash. And there's the bubble once more. But at this point, only 2 members left to defend.
Nexus is gonna fall here. Box Gaming with a very dominant display in this best of 3 will emerge victorious in FSL Elite Season 2. The Vietnamese representatives only dropped a single game for their journey. They will be going home the winners.
But in terms of series, they haven't dropped a game. Congratulations to the Box Gaming ladies here, as we do have a new champion, regional champion rather, and it's Vietnam.
Vietnam with a dominant performance, and when I was talking to Jolene about this, regarding, you know, Jolene being the jungler of Asterix Lustreless, I was talking to her about how she felt about all the regions. She said that Vietnam was probably the one with the biggest threat coming in. They play so clean, very little unforced errors, and it seems like, you know, they're on the board to take the victory, and so they will. Right now, I think Rico is going to be standing by for an interview with Box Gaming on site, as it will be given the prizes away as well. Oh. All right, so we're looking for the mic right now, I think.
Hi guys, I'm back. Don't run away. A giveaway, and this time it's not just a figurine. It's the Logitech G Pro X gaming headset. Woo! Okay, before that, I'm gonna be giving away the figurine first. So you're gonna be doing something more simple. Alright, so let me just leave it here. So okay, this figurine is the Pulse Fire Ezreal figurine, and I'm going to ask you to do a dance from one of the League of Legends champions. So I'm gonna need a volunteer. Can I have a volunteer? A volunteer. Anybody? Alright, just run up,
Let people do the dragon dance. All right, I am back. My name is Riku, yes, and we have a champion for the Female Esports League Elite for League of Legends. Once again, let's call on Box Gaming. Let's give them, yes, thank you so much for the round of applause. They're super duper happy about this. They're all smiles. I'm gonna scooch over here and have the, okay, I will switch places with you. All right, I know it's a super duper happy moment. Undefeated in the series. How does that feel? You know, undefeated throughout the whole tournament, even during from the qualifiers, and now taking the championship title.
Mọi người cảm thấy thế nào sau khi đội mình không thể đánh bại ở trong giải đấu này ạ?
Trước tiên mình muốn nói về sự chuẩn bị kỹ lưỡng của team và cũng như là anh Akiho để dẫn đến chiến thắng của bọn mình ngày hôm nay, và mình cũng rất là bất ngờ khi mà team mình có thể làm tốt được đến vậy.
So she really thankful to her coach because like they think a lot and they plan a lot for this game. So she feel really happy about this game.
It is such a well-deserved win. But I want to talk about that series you had with Top 10 Dinos. The first game, Top 10 Dinos was the winner. What was going through your head before game number 2?
Vào game thứ nhất, cái game mà đội bên kia thắng ấy ạ, thì mình đang nghĩ gì để bắt đầu một game thứ hai mới hơn?
Nói về game đầu tiên thì bọn mình đã mắc là khá nhiều sai lầm khi mà không nghe nhau, nhưng mà cái đấy thì cũng thường thấy trong một team thôi. Bọn mình đã nhất tâm lại và tập trung lại để có thể có tâm lý tốt nhất vào game 2.
So she said that at the first game, like they not listening to each other, so they made some problems. So that's why they lose the game. So after that, like they calm down and talk together and think about it again.
So they had issues during the first game. Did they say anything in particular during the first game?
No, they only said that they're not listening to like each other. So it made a mistake.
Oh, so there were communication errors during the first game. But now you've dominated the FSL tournament. I have to ask, what makes Box Gaming an amazing team?
Điều gì đã làm cho đội mình kiểu trở nên một đội tuyệt vời đến như thế?
Không trả lời nhé. Đoàn kết
là đội em chỉ cần đoàn kết thôi ạ. Và cảm ơn lãnh đạo Box Studio đã hỗ trợ bọn em cho đến thành công thời điểm này ạ.
The only thing she said that like they always like together and something like that, like they play together and they stay together.
So it's the consistency of practice and the synergy and the bonding as well within the team. But I'm sure after witnessing this tournament, a lot of league players, a lot of female league players are super inspired watching you guys play. Any tips for those aspiring female esports players that are watching and has become your fans?
Okay. Mình có một cái tip nào cho những người mà đang có ý định mà game thủ nữ đang có ý định tham gia cái game liên minh này không ạ?
Là mọi người tìm đồng đội tốt hoặc là chơi nhiều em nghĩ là game thủ nữ ấy hiện tại là nên chơi nhiều vị tướng lạ, tại vì cho là đa dạng ấy ạ, thì vào giải là mình sẽ không bị chật chân đấy ạ.
So she said that female gamers they should to find like those good teammates and they should play more champion to open the role to play more like gameplay and like roles.
It's all about that consistent practice and sticking with your friends and being together and practicing all the time. But I guess my last question for Box Gaming would be, what is your message to your home country for Vietnam? I'm sure they're super happy that you guys won the championship title.
Mọi người có lời nhắn nào về cho Việt Nam và đội của mình không ạ?
Mình xin cảm ơn tất cả các bạn người hâm mộ và đồng hành với bọn mình ở Việt Nam. Bọn mình xin gửi lời chúc sức khỏe và mong là các bạn sẽ còn theo dõi chúng mình trong những giải tiếp theo.
She say thanks to all the fans and like Vietnamese people. Like so, she wants to the fans keep following this team.
Awesome sauce. They're super happy to hear that and super happy to see your success. Thank you again so much for your time, Box Gaming, and for participating and being the champions of this tournament. Once again, let's give them a round of applause. Box Gaming! All right, thank you again very much. You may proceed here in the side now as over here as we will do another interview. Thank you again very much, Box Gaming. We will interview our second placer, top 10 dinos, ladies and gentlemen. They are representing not only Indonesia but also Malaysia and Singapore as well. And now I have to ask, for the tournament earlier, you won that first game, but after that, lost at the second game. What was your mindset approaching the third?
The second game? Oh, I think we won the second game, right? Oh, the first game. Oh, the second game is what? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So I think we botched the draft in the game too, right? But even then, we still tried with my lethality Javan to try and kill the Jinx. And we succeeded for about a good 15 minutes, right? Yeah, not so bad, yeah.
I see. I really love still all the smiles and the positive attitude still. But now, after moving on to game number 3, it was match point 1-1. What was the plan approaching the third game?
We just made her favorite champ, Zoe, and we picked our AD on what she wanted to play. And then we just tried our best, but it didn't go the way we wanted it to, but it's still okay, yeah.
It is indeed. And it was very back and forth and it was still close. You guys were the only ones that managed to topple the champions in their undefeated streak. And my last question would be, how did being the representatives of MY, SG, and ID affect your playstyle in the game? Anyone can answer. Oh, I thought you want to answer. Okay. All right. How did it help that a combination from different countries were inside your team?
Well, I think our playstars are quite different. So when we first started playing together, we tried to learn from each other's strengths. Like, Vinny is a very aggressive player. She's very, very aggressive, and I'm a very passive player. So like we kind of try to learn from each other. Try not to be hyper aggressive or too passive in lane, stuff like that. So yeah, I think we balance each other out pretty well.
That's great to hear. So a combination of different play styles in a single team and regional play styles as well. But my last question, I thought that was my last question, but I suppose any message or anyone to thank, maybe your fans or parents or your org? Okay, not org, or rather anyone.
All right, we actually have a long list of names to thank, but those that have been helping us very often nearing to the dates, of course, we have our coach, Leonard, and Dom, Eric Kellick, who was playing over there, and I believe he won his game, so at least he won his game. And then Life for being our manager. It's just always around, to help us, giving us moral support. And then Nano, my longtime coach, and Benedict as well over there. Timeless Sage. There's a lot of names, but yeah, like I personally have like 4 to 5 people who's been helping me at top lane, and I believe each of them have like their own personal coaches as well. So yeah, and of course like everyone who's been supporting us, and like all of these teams have been very, very nice and sweet to us as well. So yeah. Thanks. And thanks to FSL also for organizing this.
A lot of support from everyone, even the teams involved for the FSL. Thank you so much to you, Top 10 Dinos. Thank you again very much for your time, and looking forward to where you will end up in the next tournament. All right, awesome. I believe we will be moving on to our award ceremony. So may we ask Top 10 Dinos from the collection of region of MYSG and ID to move to the side. And now we will proceed. May I ask for Kimberlyn C to be in front? Oh, okay. Miss Tammy Tang to be in front to do the award ceremony. And let's start off first with our 4th place, Liab from the Philippines. All right, we can move. You can move in front. This is their first time competing in the tournament. From GGTY, have been acquired by the Liab organization. Have also been involved in different games. As a Filipina, still very proud and happy. Got to see you here. All right. Pose for the camera. All right. Looks like we are okay. Thank you again very much. Once again, Liab. So cute. A ton of support from their fellow teams. All right. For 3rd place, we have Lannister from Thailand. All right, we can move in front. This is a memorable moment. A lot of teams, or all of the teams rather, have represented their country, and so is Lannister for Thailand here. A very fun bunch to watch, so energetic, so animated, even joining the trivia questions from last time, from yesterday. A very colorful team indeed. It was an honor casting your games, and congratulations once again. We will pose for the photo to commemorate this wonderful moment. All right, we're good. Thank you again. Let's give it up for Lannister from Thailand. Thank you so much. And we will move to our 2nd place award. Let's give it up for Top 10 Dinos. All right, G102s. That's my favorite. It's perfect for small hands, by the way. I have small hands. All right. The only team that left a dent on Box Gaming's armor. They fought valiantly. A lot of interesting insights in the interview earlier. It's pretty fun to listen to. And photo taking to commemorate this wonderful moment here at Suntech for the FSL. They've been joining FSL for a while, and look at them now. So cute. All right, now we can look at the camera. And yes, we're done. Once again, Top 10 Dinos! GGWP. And of course, we have our champions from Vietnam, Box Gaming! Woo! Good job, undefeated in their series. All smiles, all just pure happiness. Their first time here. And they have toppled the competition, only dropping 1 game in total against top 10 dinos. They're uberly proud with what they've achieved. And we're all uberly happy with them. Winning awesome keyboards as well. G512 Carbon. And of course, we're gonna have an awesome photo to remember this glorious moment being the FSL champions for League of Legends. All right, thank you again. Let's give our hands to our champions, Box Gaming. Thank you very much. You guys were amazing. It was so amazing to watch everyone. And you may do pictures with your friends and everyone that participated. And it seems that they're still taking photos. So let them, all right. Okay, I'm just gonna be here. I'm gonna look at the camera. All right, okay, so it has been a 4 days of the FSL from Arena of Valor, and now we've ended our League of Legends. We have crowned a champion for League, and it is Box Gaming. It was amazing to watch, and I'm sure you guys at home or whoever who is in Suntech that witnessed this amazing moment live, you will, yes, remember this forever. And I'm sure you're hungry for more FSL action. If you are looking forward to when the next FSL is going to be, just do follow the pages of FSL Mobile and FSL League of Legends and the other FSL channels as well. In behalf of the staff, the production, the casters from AOV and as well as League of Legends, and everyone that attended and watched till today, thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the next FSL. Good night, everyone.